She derivative Jill.
There she is. There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Would you make me some of that Plomeek soup? Greetings and felicitations.
Red alert.
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Teatime number 128. And we're going to talk today about episode 13 of season 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation, called Deja Q, and I would put this episode among my top 10. I have not ranked my Star Trek The Next Generation episodes, but I'm pretty sure this one's in there somewhere in the top 10. And maybe when I actually do a ranking of TNG, I'll find out it's actually in the top 20, but I don't know for sure. I just know that John Delancey is super brilliant in this episode, and to me, this episode says a whole lot about what Star Trek is about, and about the exploration of what it means to be human, and contrasting Data's search for humanity with Q's curiosity about it, and Q's being godlike being and losing those powers, because Q is essentially it's science fantasy, but it's only because we don't understand it, much like the Garden of Forever. And it's just, he's one of my favorite antagonists, and while he says the trial never ends, and while that's true, I don't believe the Q we meet in Encounter at Farpoint is still the same Q we end up with in All Good Things. And I like to think this is a major marker as to Q's character development. Since we don't see him too often, I think this is what alters him. This is a turning point. And I'd like for you guys to keep that in mind, to see if you agree with me or if you think he didn't learn anything and he didn't change. So we'll see. We'll see what you guys think about that. I don't want to say too much in the intro, even though I am, because I actually want to get into the episode. But I will say that I am glad that Q doesn't show up too often. He's one of my favorite antagonists, but I'm glad he's not in too many episodes, because remember, he's not really supposed to be interfering like this, but he's a bit of a renegade amongst the Q itself. So it follows that he only sparingly shows up. And it's, and here we get to see him without those powers and how that changes him, or doesn't change him if you don't think it does. But before we get started, I just want to briefly touch up on the times we've seen him already. Of course, we reviewed Encounter at Farpoint, where he puts humanity on trial, and that continues, and the Enterprise crews win the test for the day, and there's a couple more episodes that we have not reviewed yet, including Hide and Q, which is another season 1 episode, which where Riker gets Q powers. It's kind of referenced in this episode later on, if you know what I mean. And then we also have Q where he introduces humanity to the Borg. That's not very nice. But he gets I guess the Q didn't like that. The Q Continuum didn't like that either, because this is our first time getting to see hear about and connect with the Q Continuum, and really realize how much more Q is than just a single godlike being. He's part of something grander. And so we can start talking about the episode now. Deja Q first aired on February 5th, 1990. It was written by Richard Danis, and directed by Les Landau. And of course, the title's based on the experience of, being sure that you know, I think I've experienced this before. It's something, it might be a new experience, but it might feel like an old experience. I think that's a good definition, right?
Yeah, feeling like something has occurred before.
Yeah. And
A
I wanted
sense
to
of
have
repeat or a glitch in the matrix, your choice.
or a glitch in the matrix, yeah. The kitty cat. So this is kind of a comedic episode. I wanted to do a lighthearted episode today, and this is the one that won the poll. This is the one of the I don't know. I don't think it's the first time I put a poll for an episode, but it's the first one in a long time. And I'm glad you guys chose this one because it is a favorite. So we're gonna get into the captain's log, but before we do that, I want to say hi to everybody in the panel and the chat. So hello, Scotty R37. How's your Friday?
Oh, so far so good. I am also very, very pleased that it's sort of a Q break from the world, and then also getting that hubris and just egotistical imp being brought down a peg and lessons being learned. I like it because it is what happens when you take someone who is incredibly powerful and then give them a slice of humble pie.
That's another thing I want to ask. Does Q learn empathy? That's going to be something to think about. And Wes Cagle,
Yes.
thank you for showing up today. I hope you enjoy what we have to say about this episode.
Yeah, I couldn't miss a Q episode. If I'm ranking my TNG episodes, I think my top 10 is populated probably 50% with Q. All the Q episodes are stuck in there. So, yeah.
Even Cupid?
Oh, man, I am not a merry man. Come on.
Yeah, that's
Sir,
true.
I protest. I am not a merry man.
That makes the entire episode.
Okay, fair enough. Well, and Worf does have some good lines in this episode also. Yeah. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, that was my punishment for liking Cupid.
I like Cupid too.
Vosh is good. People don't like Vosh. I like Vosh, but I don't want too much of her though.
That's true. Well, Captain's Holiday. That'll be a fun one to cover sometime.
Yes, exactly.
But it's weird when, well, and speaking of Q, it's weird when he dates Vosh in Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
Well,
they go off gallivanting across the universe. I mean, she wasn't going to say no to that. So
true. Okay, so thank you, Wes Cagle. Thanks, and I want to say hello to Joe's Atmosphere. I don't think he's here now, but I really appreciate you posting on Twitter for me and liking and sharing and all of that. You're awesome. And I'll make sure now that you've been in the chat here that your link pops up, because of course I hadn't started that yet here. Let's see if I even have you. Yeah, I do. Here we are. I've got a little list here. So there's Joe's Atmosphere. He helped me out this morning. And hello to Snortapoopas, Cuber.
Poopas.
Hey, Snorty's here. And Franco, it's good to see you, Franco. And please subscribe, hit the bell, share, hit like, and select live chat. Oh, you're very tired. Yeah, I know it. If you need a sleep, I hope we can help you with that too. And you can lurk and just have it on in the background and go to sleep because we want you to feel good. And hello to LGG, Free the Net. The episode where Q got access denied to the Q's God mode, Alex. That's a funny way to put it. I like it. I've never seen an actual device that controls the Q powers, but that's interesting to think that might exist.
Well, it's like the mirror in Squire of Gothos.
Yes.
Exactly what I was thinking. That mirror was the device that made it to where he could replicate things. Like, that was the first replicator. So, Unless you count Robbie the Robot, which was the inspiration for the replicator. And of course, you're here on the panel. I already said hi to you, but you're here in the chat too when you want to be.
Yes.
Greetings and felicitations.
And Penny. Hey, Penny.
Penny.
Penny's here in this episode where Q gives Bond some gadgets and tells him not to break them. oh, now I get it. I have
Pay
seen
attention, 007.
I have seen a few James Bond movies now, so I do get that joke. Ron Kill, hello.
Hey, Ron Kill.
I don't know how to do that. If you can figure that out, then well. Good to see you. And the Jill Notes bot. I added this to the Jill Notes bot. Have you subscribed here yet? No? If you do, I hear that Worf will transport you some cellular peptide cookies with mint frosting. I think cake is too difficult to transport, is the reasoning for the cookies.
Yes.
So obviously, it's just a joke. And I want to thank Zell from the UK Danger Man channel. He says, "What's up? Big time love to you, Jill." It didn't say time. I added that. So
Big
Zell is. Are you guys streaming today? Is UK Danger Man going to go on the air? I don't know. Sometimes he skips the Friday. Let me know and I'll raid you guys and I'll check later if you don't answer now. But thank you so much for the $4.99. Well, I'll play the first video that we're gonna play today. Right here. Oh, but it's Jordy.
It would be like an ant pushing a tricycle. A slim chance at best.
I always like when they have technobabble and they're like, here's the simple thing that the audience will understand.
Yes.
Low Spec Linux Gaming is here. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Daniel is doing well. Daniel's Hot Topic spinning? Or who? Which Daniel? Oh, I don't know. You know what? That's none of my business. Pretend I didn't read it. Yes, we are streaming. Okay. I'll make sure to share you guys out. Look, the bot worked. I started putting the links in again for everybody who shows up. I haven't done the promotions where they randomly pop up yet. I'll do that later. The ants from them could push a bicycle.
Good movie.
But ants are pretty strong.
Yes.
I bet enough ants could push a tricycle.
Possible.
I don't think they would know what to do with a tricycle.
That's true. All right. So we've got a captain's log. Let's have Scotty R37 read this first one here. There's going to be a lot of stuff to read today. I really love this episode. I have quotes.
Yeah, I think like just a natural doing this as a teleplay would be really, really fun. Captain's log, stardate 43539.1. We have moved into orbit around Braille 4. With the assistance of the planet's emergency control center, we're investigating a potentially catastrophic threat to the population from a descending asteroidal moon.
I love this because this is something that could happen if you're a planet. I don't know. They don't exactly say how it happened in this case. How did the asteroid?
Well, Q actually later on gives an explanation as to why he believes it happened.
He does?
They can't. Yeah, he says it is obviously a large interstellar body intersecting at right angles to the solar system. Probably a black hole, he says. So whatever that means, I don't know. I do not know that.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. You're right. He does say probably a black hole caused it. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what that means either. But
But
that's never confirmed exactly, but that's an interesting theory that Q came up with. Thank you.
Yes.
it is sort of confirmed, because then when Geordi extrapolates from that information, he does figure out that there is a way to be able to change the gravitational constant of the moon. And
Woo!
so
Yeah, he does.
I
Yeah,
do I do like that. And also,
Yep.
one of the things that I enjoy, and I know it's Friday, so I'm allowed to somewhat bring up the filth, is that I like the fact that this is like that explanation that Q gives is something that could have taken place like 1,000 years ago. It doesn't necessarily have to have been like a supernova in 2 solar systems over. It's like this is probably what happened. In between solar systems, there's pretty much nothing except for like particles. And so it would be, it being a black hole, would sort of be clouded within the dark matter and the vast void between stars. And so the technobabble, while obviously technobabble, does sort of check out, and I like that, which is great about your classic 735. If we're gonna do technobabble, let's have a science consultant tell us what's possible. And so whether it's complete fiction or not, it does sound possible.
I think this episode is one of the more consistent in terms of pairing science with the pretend science of Star Trek, especially when LaForge says we need to apply a delta V of about 4 kilometers per second, and that's pretty easy because that's obviously delta V, that's change in velocity, so that's that's physics.
And physics are power.
Yeah. Physics is power. Oh, did you want me to play are you thinking?
As your body grows bigger,
Your mind must flower.
it's great to learn.
Because knowledge is power.
Hell yes.
Good old Schoolhouse Rocky.
Yeah, and so he's considering using the tractor beam, but yeah, and moving the bicycle like we said already. Yeah. So that's pretty great. And its orbit is continuing to deteriorate. And what I think is beautiful is how they discuss what the audience would be thinking. Like what nerds would be thinking watching the show. Will it break up in the atmosphere? No, because it's too hard. Actually, they kind of say what it's made of too, which is really fun. It's
It's got some kind of a specific core, yeah.
Yeah, it's made of ferrous crystalline, which is another term for magnetite, which has half the hardness of diamond. So yeah, I would not break up in the atmosphere. That makes sense to me.
Magnetite, isn't that a Pokemon?
Actually, I think so. Yeah, it is like a magnet Pokemon, but electric. But this is what's fun about Star Trek. Sometimes they don't just pull words out of any random hat. Often they pull out words that have some kind of meaning, even when it's fictional. They'll give it meaning. Maybe the only thing I don't like is that we don't get a name for the Braille 4 natives. So
Braillians.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Braillians.
Then they consider whether or not they can blow it into smithereens. And oh, I have slides. I forgot about those. There's the moon.
Yeah, you said this could be a possible actual thing happening. Well, it's not an actual moon. They say it's an asteroidal moon, and a planet like Mars actually has 2 asteroidal moons. They're not real moons, but Deimos and Phobos or Phoebus.
Yes.
Phoebe? Yes. And
Phobos.
so,
yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
That's how I know him.
So that could actually be a thing. Say we had a colony on Mars. So.
Oh man, that would be scary. Wow, For All Mankind could make an episode about that. And so they consider whether or not they can just blow it up like in Armageddon. But Data says that'll just cause a wider spread of destruction, and also we won't know where those fragments are going to fall. It'll be really unpredictable. So they decide that's not a good idea.
I think one of my favorite lines from the movie or from the show is when the lady is listing off all the things that could possibly happen, but the way that she finishes off the list, I don't know why it makes me chuckle every time. And she's like, and tsunami, and it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that clip. I should have asked you what clips you wanted.
Nah. It's just the actors in incredible prosthetics that I'm sure is limiting their performances. They do such a great job of doing not only technobabble but also attempting to emote through those tarps.
Yeah, those are pretty thick. Yeah, I always reminding me of when Greedo was trying to talk in Star Wars.
Oh, right.
Their
Yes,
mouths
thank
don't really
you.
articulate very good.
Thank you, Michael Westmore.
Yes.
I think it is well done.
Looking at this clip, I'm reminded because Troy's in this picture. This is a very limited Troy. I think she has like 2 lines in the whole thing.
Gavin, well, yeah, and that's all she needs. Oh, and at one point she just says, "Why?" Gavin Blackburn, ugly people with ugly clothing. Let's get them squished.
Oh, man, no. Ooh.
Zell says, "Science in Star Trek. Those were the days, not like now, where New Trek solves it with friendship, magic, and bloody rainbows."
Oh, so
don't
New
forget
Trek
the crying.
Like My Little Pony.
Yeah, the crying, the hugging, the cooking.
We don't need crying from our Vulcans.
And one option they don't think about is attaching some rockets to it and just like shooting it off. I don't know. Maybe they just don't have.
Well, they do. I think it's Riker. Tells Worf to signal all available ships in the area to try to come and give assistance. So I mean, obviously in humanitarian relief, but also I'm sure if they had more ships, they might be able to push it. But of course, nobody's ever in the area for a disaster except the Enterprise. So.
Yes, but that's another great point. I love that, Wes Cagle, is that's a great positive because even real Star Trek episodes sometimes forget that other ships in the fleet exist, but this episode stands out that it does not forget that. I'm glad they at least mention it. Mike Lennox. Hello? Does New Trek have drunken, lonely women too? I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of New Trek. I watch some of it. Picard season 1 definitely did. She was so lonely her own son didn't want anything to do with her.
That might be a positive.
So yeah. And I think she did some kind of substance. So I'm sorry. We all know the Enterprise is the only ship in the quadrant. Oh yeah. Okay. The only one within range. Yeah, hi Donnie. New Trek is no Trek, says a good place. Absolutely correct.
Well.
I feel
that's the most protestation I'm going to give is, well, like, that's all I'm going to say. I know what I'm getting into when I say, well.
You know what you're doing.
Yes. But, yeah.
Red alert.
Yes, red alert indeed.
Precisely. Also, I do like the fact that when Riker says to Worf, "Can we get everybody, any ships in the area? Can we get them here?" And it's like, "Oh right, don't forget, space is giant,
Yes.
So it's gonna take a while, pal."
Yeah, it is. It does take a while, even at warp drive speeds.
Yeah, that's what I'll say about, like, especially with the JJ trilogy. It's like, oh, we have to get there, and then all of a sudden it's like, blink, we're here. It's like, no.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're not there. We're talking about good Star Trek today, and so there's a bright flash, and Q is suspended naked in midair. And this was apparently kind of difficult to do, to fake it. He was supposed to have like a Speedo or something for his modesty, but it didn't seem to work out. And so he just walked in with a robe and just caused a scene on the set.
Well, okay. And I saw sort of contradictory production notes on this, is that there was one that said it was difficult to get the nude scene because, and then John Delancey said, if you don't want to deal with nudity, then just get off the set and I'll just do it and we can set it up. And he did it in one take. And I think that's him falling. And when he says red alert, this was actually done with a blue screen or green screen. I think it's blue screen still at this time in 1990. And so that's where he was naked. And then they show him sort of lying down. But yeah, I think that there were two different effects, or there was one special effect and one practical on the bridge set, where he was actually naked as a jaybird, I believe is the saying.
This is John Delancey's nude scene. So, Wes Cagle, could you read the next Captain's Log supplemental in the private?
Sure thing. Captain's Log supplemental. We are no closer to finding a solution to the deteriorating orbit of the Brielle 4 moon. But with the arrival of Q, we now have a good idea of the cause.
Hey, Herc.
Oh, yeah. Herc 130's here. Hey, hello. So, of course, we have John Delancey. Whoopi Goldberg is Guinan. Guinan's pretty good in this one. She's fun. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for her scene.
I don't think that... Is there another episode where Q and Guinan share a scene?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the one where he introduced him to the Q, to the Borg. Yeah.
No. I mean after this one. Subsequently.
Oh.
I know that... Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they ever meet again. Well, until you get to season 2, but we don't want to talk about that.
Sorry. Les Landra. Sorry. Those were... I couldn't help it.
Sure you could.
These are not my colors.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's do this. Where are we? Did I get that? Yes, I did.
These aren't my colors.
That's what he's worried about. That's what he's most upset about.
But I like that costume very much. I would love to be able to have that costume for Halloween. I'm especially impressed with the boots. They almost look like Bajoran boots before Bajorans were a thing. But how do you get something so drab? Like, I don't know how to make this costume. So.
It is very drab.
And it's so specific as well,
so
with like the
ugly.
ribbing in the fabric.
Yep. There's the meme, yes.
Yeah, and as Scotty pointed out, it's reversed.
Yes. That's what I thought.
Point.
Rewatching this, and then I was like, oh yeah, there's the meme, but he did it backwards. And it's like, no, the meme is backwards. It's, creativity towards the internet. Good work, guys and gals and everyone in between.
Absolutely. I love that Star Trek lives on in meme culture. And so many people use these Star Trek memes. I wish they would actually watch Star Trek, but at least it lives on in some way in that sense. So the crew assumes that he's at fault regarding the moon, as the supplemental said, but of course he's not. He's been removed from the continuum. And when he was asked what mortal being he would want to be, he chose human, and he was sent to the Enterprise. He even admits here that it was for sanctuary purposes. So he's being punished for, abusing his powers, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Which I think adds another layer of sort of I don't know. I wouldn't call it malevolent, but just some sort of justice within the species of the Q continuum. It's like you can be out of line, you can suffer consequences. So it's an interesting layer to the lore of Q.
Yes. Yep.
I think so too. And, well, even though he admits it's for sanctuary purposes, he also says this.
You're the closest thing I have to a friend, Jean-Luc.
That's what makes him do that look. Like, are you kidding?
And so all the while, Data is using his tricorder on Q, finding out that, yes, he is reading as a human. And Troy can also sense his emotions. But since this is Q, nobody really trusts even their own sensors and their own... Even Troy, I don't know if she even trusts her own powers at this point.
Oh, and such a petulant child. I love it. What do I have to do to prove it to you? Die. Oh, very good, Worf. Eat any good books lately?
He's lost none of his quip, that's for sure.
Well, but that's also something that I appreciate, and this is I don't know what's the is that season 3 where we get Troy and she loses her powers? Is that season 3? I think so.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And it is something where it what happens when a person has one of their senses removed or one of their abilities removed. It's anger. Anger is how you would lash out with the internal terror that you're feeling, and so they do it twice this season, I think.
Yeah, she's definitely... I mean, he is definitely afraid, but the loss is season 4, so they do it next season.
What must I do to convince you people?
Die.
Oh, very clever, Worf. Eat any good books lately?
Yeah.
Yep.
And if anybody notices, I have edited it a bit for copyright reasons so that I could have longer clips. So some of the pausing, the dramatic pausing, I've had to modify for reasons.
Fair
But
enough.
man, I love that. That is great. It's really funny. This whole episode is fantastic. And so, weary of conversation, so Picard just gives Q what he wants. You want to be human? Fine. Go to the brig. And so Worf escorts him to the brig.
Yeah. Escort Q to the brig, Worf. Delighted, sir.
Delighted, yes.
And I had to laugh because he pushes him into the turbo lift, and the only thing Q can say, I don't like it in here. I'm claustrophobic.
Yeah, how did he figure out he's claustrophobic so quickly after becoming human?
I just think he complains about everything now that he's human, so.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got nerves. There's probably... Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh. Yes. What? Okay, Donnie.
Yeah, I no.
It's not, but also it's not Star Trek either.
Yeah. I think I watched well, Jill, you and we watched the trailer for it, and both you and I were like, nope.
What is this? It's you don't need baby Star Trek. It's Star Trek for babies. Because you watched regular Star Trek as a baby.
Star Trek babies, they're making dreams come true. Shake the doobie wop.
You know, when you guys said Star Trek, that's the first thing I thought of too. Muppet Babies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for getting that. I was afraid I was just singing stupid.
Well, yeah, nice. No, I did like that. I liked Muppet Babies, but this wasn't that exactly. It was weirder. It was Paw Patrol. Q fan. I'm a Q fan.
I'm a Q fan too.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad that there was never a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode called Q-Tip.
Well, me too. Hello, John the Beagle Dad is here.
Hey, Porthos.
Oh, this is his favorite Q episode too. I'm not sure if this one's my favorite. Yeah, maybe. No, I don't know. All Good Things is
All Good Things
pretty
is mine,
good.
Yeah. Mm.
It is the best TNG movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. It's very good. I don't know. I think I like part of Chain of Command better, but yeah.
Chain of Command. Okay. Oh yeah. That's a different argument. What is the best TNG movie that's not really a TNG movie? So which is the best two-parter essentially? That could be fun one day just to talk about that. Oh yeah. So John the Beagle Dad has a picture of his new puppy in his profile picture. I'm wondering
Nice.
who that is. Wait, what's his name? What's your new
Porthos.
puppy's name?
Porthos.
Porthos? Really?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I thought you guys were just talking about Porthos before, just for fun. I didn't realize that was his name. Nice.
Porthos was adopted or rescued, however you wish to put it, Beagle Daddy, from Archer, Florida. So, of course, his name is Porthos.
Makes sense.
Yeah. See, I'm not telling tales out of school. He's telling tales in school.
So yes. So we have Hugh going into the turbo lift and complaining, "I should have never picked human. Knew it the minute I said it. To think of the future in this shell."
Forced to cover myself with a fabric because of some outdated human morality.
To say nothing of being too hot or too cold, growing feeble with age, losing my hair, catching a disease, being ticklish.
Having an itch, a pimple, bad breath, having to bathe.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad.
I gotta say, the cinematography or the way it's laid out in this episode, I really enjoy everything in terms of the camera movements, and it's a very dynamic episode. And the special effects in this episode are also, this is top notch. This is my first time watching this one on the Blu-ray, and so everything pops. I did the old Red Letter Media thing where I was looking in the background for pieces of black crepe paper that were covering up displays. Didn't see any. So yeah,
No boom mics.
No boom mics, not that I saw. Nice. But then again, I'm going to be enthralled by this episode no matter what.
So Herc 130's got to go. Once again, the real world encroached on me, and I have to go. This is my favorite character in Star Trek: The Next Generation. I will have to listen to the playback, so we got to make this playback good for Herc 130. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Oh, I was frightened by ellipses just a moment there. Okay, I'm better now. Sorry. I was looking in the private chat since I said it out loud. Oh, there were 8 pups in the litter, and Porthos was the only one of that color. The rest were bicolor beagles. Wow, well chosen. Love those Red Letter Media video. Me too, because Mike is a true Star Trek fan. You always know a true one from somebody who's just reading from a cue card. Oh, these are Star Trek facts, and I'm telling you about things about Star Trek, but they don't really care about Star Trek. Mike loves Star Trek.
Yeah. Yeah, you know he's still a passionate fan.
Mm-hmm. Real world. Why? Yes, he is having to deal with reality. Reality as immortal beings know it, yes. Not his spoiled reality where he gets to do whatever he wants. And so he was trying to compliment Worf, saying, "Oh, I should have picked Klingon." But Worf is not falling for it. He even tells him to shut up.
Yeah.
Sucking
up like a scared person would do. They're trying to get protection from anywhere they can.
Yeah, he doesn't say shut up. He says, "Be quiet or disappear back where you came from." Because Worf still doesn't really believe that Q has been turned human. He thinks that he's tricking them, which is not, that's not unfair.
Yeah, I think because I can for getting a little ahead, and I'm not going to go into detail, but the crew is not privy to the scene later on the shuttle, so I think that even at the end, they don't believe that this was him losing his powers. I think that they think it was all contrived the entire time.
Wait, who believes that? No, I think they do believe it at the end.
Well,
Because at the end, Picard
the only
says that must be the end of Q.
Well, yeah, but the only reason that we would know or they would know for sure is if they were privy to that conversation on the shuttle, and they don't get to see that. So I mean, he could have faked everything, pretended the entire time, kind of testing them via the trial goes on to see how that they would react. Would their humanity take over and extend forgiveness and shelter to somebody who tormented them, kind of thing? I don't know. I just thought that they never bought into it fully.
That's an interesting idea. What if the Q continuum were testing the humanity in some way? I'm not sure, but I think they do believe it towards the end. I'm not sure either. That's a good question. I'll think about that while we're watching and circle back to that when we start playing the trumpet. Worf still doesn't believe that he's human yet, right? And so because Q's fooled them before, and so here's a sarcastic compliment.
Oh, perspicacity incarnate.
Yes, I do like that observational humor. And Picard and Riker do not trust Q either.
Nope.
So they consider that Q's just fooling around with them and will save the planet from the asteroidal moon at the last minute. Either way, they have to continue as if Q is not able to do anything about this catastrophe and had nothing to do with it.
You notice Q again. He was sucking up to Worf because, like I said, you look for protection anywhere. But once he's not going to get it, he calls Worf a Romulan. I mean, what bigger insult could that be to a Klingon?
Yeah, he does yell Romulan, but then he's like, maybe I should have chosen Romulan.
Yeah, just chose Romulan.
So then a bright light fills the room, and something is probing the ship. And they find out that it is Berthold radiation, which sounds familiar because that was first referenced in Star Trek, the original series, This Side of Paradise.
Yes.
And we can handle a little bit of it, but if we stay in those rays too long, living tissue will disintegrate eventually.
When they question Q about this whole situation, he says, "Well, I chose human and chose to come here, given that I only had a fraction of a second to choose the race, as long as it was mortal." This is something to circle back. You guys think about this. Well, when Scotty gets back, I'll ask him too. If you had a second as an immortal being and you had to be mortal now, I wouldn't have picked human. I know exactly what race, because they're long lived, but they're mortal. I know what I would have chose. I would not have chose human.
Turtle, alligator.
I would have chosen to be maybe a metron.
Oh, come on!
You want to be another godlike being?
Yeah, they're mortal. They're mortal, but they
metrons, I guess.
They never said they were immortal.
I would.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I'd say I'd be happy to be Vulcan, but then I wouldn't be happy because I'd have to suppress that emotion.
Well, if you're Q, you can be a Cybok. But I don't think the continuum would be like, okay, you can be a Metron, which is sort of all powerful as well ish, or a prophet, like one of the wormhole aliens. I don't think that they'd be like, no. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
It's true. I could be denied.
Could be a changeling.
Yeah, you could be a changeling.
That's a long-lived.
Very long-lived, yeah. I love...
You could be a good one.
There's something about, and I know that there's more special effects in terms of the Calamarain. There's one right there.
Yes.
But I love the very simple, washed-out lighting that indicates the scan. And it's just such a it's just jack the lights, like, in terms of production. It looks great in terms of being intensely scanned. But it's cheap as chips.
True.
Oh, yeah, from another episode, A Good Place, Micro Brain, growl for me.
Show me you still care.
Are Metrons immortal? That's a good question. I thought they were immortal, but I don't know for sure. They're a godlike being, so I'm not... Yeah, no, I don't have any indication that they'd ever die. Mike Lennox says Changeling would be fun. Yeah, and it might take a while to learn how to be a good changeling, but you got plenty of time.
I don't know. That's a whole other conversation as to whether or not your individuality would come out while you're in the Great Link. Are you allowed to say that you're okay with solids if you are a part of the Great Link? After all, no changeling has ever killed another for their opinions.
Exactly. You could influence the other changelings to not be jerks.
Or you could be exiled, like the one who was played by J.G. Hertzler.
That's true.
Although I think he was one of the... I think it's the 37.
Oh,
is it 37? How many
was it one of the babies that they shot off into space?
Right. I just don't know how many there were.
Well, you know what? How about that race of beings from what is it, Errand of Mercy, where Boltar plays a Klingon? They're like they're beings of light, and pure energy. That's pretty good.
Be an Organian.
That's it. The Organians. That's them.
But also, and now that we've explored this a little bit, the thing is that maybe the Prophets, the Metrons, the Organians, maybe they would be so powerful that you would not be able to infiltrate their ranks.
Could be.
When it comes to the changelings, you got to show up in the Great Link, and if you're not actually a changeling, then they can kill you because you are sort of an interloper. Yeah. I would go with Horta, because they're ancient, aren't they, Jill?
They are.
Yes.
They're space turtles.
You'd be a space turtle. Yeah.
Or Gumtoo. What if you could be
a Gumtoo? They're sentient. They're very intelligent. Apparently, in some novels, they become part of a crew. So yeah, Horta could be fun.
Or you could be you could be that I don't know what they don't ever give him a name. You could be the creature from Encounter at Farpoint.
Oh,
jellyfish.
Yeah, space jellyfish. Yeah.
Yeah, you won't be limited. You don't have to have a starship. You are the starship.
Yep. Or the guy from the Good Tea, Nice House. The guy that killed all the Hoosnock.
Yeah, Dowd.
Yeah, he's not immortal. I'm pretty sure he says he's not immortal. He's just extremely long-lived. Of course, again, too powerful. I think the Q might say, no, that's not a punishment. So.
Yeah.
And he has good tea, so it'd be good life. So Picard is trying to learn something from Q, but Q is ignorant to everything that's going on. He doesn't even know about the moon or the radiation probe. The only crisis that Q is aware of are the new and confusing biological functions he's having to contend with. And just the dialogue in this episode for that and for everything is pretty exquisite.
The life was oozing out of me. I lost consciousness.
You fell asleep.
Oh, terrifying.
Now there are two things that he doesn't really explore, that Star Trek never really explored, and it has always been a question as to where are the restrooms on the Enterprise. So he never says, where do you people pee around here?
Oh yeah, he They didn't play for the potty humor. He could have messed himself at some point. Like,
Ooh,
what
yeah.
happened? I leaked.
Maybe that's what he meant when the life was oozing out of him. Maybe he lost bladder control and passed out, but the ship cleans itself up. So it's going to
Including
totally...
his uniform?
Well, if he's passed out, it's a minor medical emergency. I'm not saying it's actual factual. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Scotty's headcanon is interesting.
Well...
Yeah, you always wonder where they don't usually show the they sometimes show the sink in the bathroom, but never see the actual toilets, which is even in the original series. Although the game I played, the role playing game by FASA, the Star Trek role playing game, came with the actual blueprints of every level, every deck of the Constitution class cruiser, and it actually shows the toilets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine the toilets would be like, replicator disposal or whatever.
Sure. But, and if I remember, in the Star Trek Next Generation technical manual, if you're headed towards the observation lounge and you turn left, that's where the bathroom is. I'll show you on the next time we get to a slide of the bridge. But one thing that I really like about this episode, that is just like very close second to John Delancey as Q, is this is a situation where the Enterprise is doing its job, probably would have got pretty good at it until those other ships showed up, and the only thing that is the variable is Q. If it weren't for that, they would just be doing this. And so I like how it's a Star Trek episode that is interrupted by another Star Trek episode. It's like, we have to fix this, and then there would be, they got their techno babble and their human interactions. Someone falls in love. Riker falls in love with one of the what's the name of the planet? Brianna 4?
Yes.
Brielle?
Yeah. So there's a Brielle named Brienne, and Riker falls in love with her. And there we go. That's your episode. But this one is so much more interesting by the presence of Q.
Yes, that's right. It is. I agree. And not only is it interrupted by another episode, they play into each other perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brogu.
Hello to Brogu. Okay, good to see you. So Picard doesn't really have any time to play, but Q says, he can offer his intellect. He's, as such as it is in this puny mind, to help solve the problem with the moon. And so Data is assigned as Q's babysitter. And Picard says that Q will have to work hard to earn their trust. And Q says,
"You only dislike me. There are others in the cosmos who truly despise me."
Oh, you know what? I think that's a new Tinder profile. That's
I was going to call it foreshadowing.
I'm going to put that on a business card.
So Data is considering, because nobody trusts Q, not even Data. And so he's considering whether or not this is true. And so Data finds it to be an irony.
An irony? It means that you have achieved in disgrace what I have always aspired to be.
Yes, this is the first of many profound conversations they have with each other.
Well, and this is I would say, most significant interaction that Q and Data have had. However, Q and Data back in Haydn Q, Riker's the one who offers Data to be human. So they've never had that conversation before. My mistake. I had to think it out and talk it out and bore all of you. I apologize.
No, but that's not boring. That is interesting, and it will be something we're going to talk about. I have something for that at the end. Okay, so they're already in engineering in the slide. Oh yeah, the graphic. But in the hallway, Q is musing that humans really don't know what they're looking for, and Data corrects him. The human race has an enduring desire for knowledge and for new opportunities to improve itself. And Data can't feel, and he knows he's missing an important aspect of humanity due to this. But Q can, and he says it's overrated. And yes, I do like the Elkar's graphic here. Very nice. And Jordy says the moon is going to reach its perigee uh, in 10 hours. And so if they can match the trajectory, he figures they can use warp power to push it. The problem is it's just the Enterprise will be too close to the planet, and Q says that's gonna destroy everything. And the only problem with this is that perigee is in reference to Earth, but I guess they used it because more people understand it. And well,
it's kind of like, do they colloquially refer to every star at the center of a solar system as the star designation or as this system's sun?
I think they usually say star.
Do they say star? Because then I know that they're very specific about whenever you go back to Earth, it's the Sol system. So they're specific about that star being called Sol.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious. It's not that it comes up in this episode. I'm just talking about science.
Yeah, and speaking of science, it should have been apogee, not perigee, because the perigee would be closer to the planet, and wouldn't you want to be a little further away?
Well, they I think that's what they wanted to say, because later on they say the moon's will again reach its perigee, and then I think Geordi goes on to say it's reaching its closest proximity to the planet. I'm pretty sure he says this line in the film, in the episode. I don't know. I agree they should probably push it when it's the farthest away, but they actually know that it's at the closest.
I need to ask Old Man Bird this question and see what he thinks about this episode. Should it have been perigee, the way it is in the episode, or should it have been apogee?
Do I have to? You know what? I'm gonna consult the ship's computer.
RVM 371 has given a gift. He gave the channel $5. Thank you, RVM 371. Hi, Jill. Can't stay long, but had to stop by and say there's coffee in that nebula. Coffee, the finest organic suspension nature's ever devised. Oh, man. I got to make those clips for you, RVM 371, but I'm glad you stopped by long enough to send us this very important message. I have been drinking coffee this whole morning, my favorite kind, my Gavalia.
Hot coffee?
It was hot. It's no longer hot, but it's still yummy.
Delish.
It's got sugar and milk and sugar. I don't take it like Janeway.
or
oh my God.
Phrasing.
Yes, phrasing. Q's outfit would look better on 7 of 9, says Brooke.
Without the green. And you just get like a lift and separate situation going on the cleavage. Yeah, I was thinking, remember when Riker had to dress up and show off all of his chest hair on that lady planet? I was like, this is the functional version of that. Just showing off your cleavage. So yes, agreed. Shall we play? Did we play a video for the
Oh no, we didn't. You're right. I don't have the coffee video that he wants, but I have a coffee video. RVM 371.
My apologies, RVM 371. Too many capitals, numbers, and codes. I'm only a simple ensign, acting ensign. Shut up, Wesley.
What? You're the recreations officer.
What, I'm Neelix now? Fuck off.
Oh, good lord. Yo, borrowed.
Oh, I need to get that clip too. There's so many clips I need. Where's my coffee?
Well, while you're looking for the clip, are you ready with the clip?
No, I'm looking for it.
Okay. So speaking before, we'll get closure before the next. Thank you for the super chat clip. Again,
Got
to RVM 371, go to town, Chuck.
Isn't that hot? Extremely.
Delightful.
Get it right from the pot. It's amazing. And there's a reasoning behind that, but maybe I'll review that episode someday.
So the moon's elliptical orbit at its farthest is at its apogee, and sometimes closest at its perigee. Now, I actually do have an idea for this. So, because the threat of the asteroidal moon crashing into Brea, wouldn't you want to do it at the closest to the planet so you can see how far you can get it away from the planet, as opposed to dealing with different variables? Like, what if it's just drawn back into its perigee based on the gravitational pull of Brea?
Well, I have a theory on this. I think maybe you push it when it's at its perigee, because as you know, at least this is what it seems like to me. It's at its fastest at the perigee, and because it's kind of slingshotting around, and it slows down at the apogee. So maybe you do it because it's got extra speed.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Because it would have more speed as it is approaching another astral body.
Yes, it speeds up. Yes. So that's just my theory. I mean, it may only be, slightly, but you take everything you can get.
See, this is why you have teams in engineering, so you can share ideas and figure out which way to get that asteroid from not hitting the planet.
Yes.
Sure. Come on.
I don't know.
Doing their jobs. Even this episode.
But if you did it wrong,
we'll do our jobs.
But if you did it wrong, you'd knock the moon right into the planet.
Risk is our business, Jill.
There you go.
True. Can you remind me what are the Hortas? Space turtles is a good place. Oh, is that where you got that from, Scotty? I was wondering where you did. It's space turtles, space lasagna, space pizza. It's they're silicon-based life form.
They lay eggs.
And Dr. McCoy says I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer. But then he cures the Horta by becoming a bricklayer.
My God, Jim, I'm starting to think I could cure a rainy day.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh no. Okay, so Mike Linux says the poo's transported to the poop dimension. John the Beagle Dad says the poop can be used to grow the food. No, John, it's turned into energy. It's turned into energy.
They do. They cover this on an episode of Enterprise where Trip is asked.
That's before replicators, but yes, continue.
But so human waste has been used as a recyclable form of matter since the early days of interstellar travel.
I think that's how they grow the food on the Cygnus in the black hole. So
there we go.
Yes, it works for Enterprise and maybe even TOS, but when you get replicators, you don't need to do that anymore.
No, you still need matter.
You still
matter
you
cannot
turn the
be
matter
created or destroyed, so you change you change the fecal matter into deuterium if that's
what I'm saying. Well, that's different. You turn matter into energy, and so it's not the same. It's different. It's not.
It's not still poop.
Manure.
You're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not still poop.
I need one of those things. I can't look into my microphone and say poop.
Oh, you need a pop filter.
I don't have a pop. I don't have a poop filter.
And this is why they don't talk about it on Star Trek, because humans cannot shut up about it.
Yeah.
And James Caserta says, "You have saved us, Commander." Okay. And James Caserta, James Caserta's here. Hello. Also, perigee and apogee refer to planetary orbits, its moon. Aphelion and perihelion
Wow.
refer to orbits around the system star or primary. Yeah, that would have been cool if they
Yep.
would have used those words in the episode. I would have been super impressed.
Yep. Well, I guess Helion refers to, celestial star. A star,
Yeah.
right? Yes.
A
So,
star that's not necessarily Earth star
yes.
or Earth itself. That's great. A more universal term would have been neat. But then the audience would have needed more explanation. So they used I think that's why they used a term people understand better.
But you
Mick Phoenix, hello. I haven't seen you in a
Mick
while.
Phoenix.
Great to see you.
You do have the smartest person in the galaxy on the ship who could sort of be flowery with the joke, and then have anybody be like, "What are you talking about?" And then he says, "Oh, to explain it to you, dum dum." There you go. There's your pop culture curator.
I don't like to think of Q as
The Great Gazoo. I
Great
do.
Gazoo.
I think it's endearing. What he said in criticism, I accept as a joyous reference. Yes, Q is the Great Gazoo, and I dig it.
He's still talking about so we're dealing with this problem, this moon problem, and so the problem is the Enterprise will be so close to the atmosphere, and of course it's just Geordi wants to know if Q has a better solution. And as Wes Cagle mentioned earlier, Q says this is obviously the result of a large celestial object passing through at near right angles to the plane of the star system, probably a black hole. So he's the only one who really theorizes what could have caused the moon, the asteroid, to not get knocked out of orbit. And when asked for a solution, he says, where am I? Oh no, that's not where my videos are. Here they are.
Simple. Change the gravitational constant of the universe.
And how am I supposed to do that? I don't know. You just do it.
We can't do that. So, but
what I think Geordi is saying is that it is beyond the technical capabilities of the Enterprise to do that. Oh, well, then.
But do you think Q meant the whole universe? Because that would be really catastrophic for everybody. Maybe did he just mean that one section of locally?
Just locally, yes.
That would make more sense. And that's exactly what Geordi comes up with. But before we get there, and something that I skipped really is before Q is helpful in that way, he is not helpful at all at first, because suddenly his back starts to hurt and he is surprised with this pain. And so Crusher is called over.
I would like to say that this is my favorite performance by Gates McFadden in the entirety of her appearances in Star Trek. This one scene.
Well, then you'll be glad to know I got 2 clips for this.
Wicked!
Well, don't expect too much sympathy from me. You have been a pain in our backside often enough.
She is not gentle. No.
Well, and it's also interesting. Sorry.
Your bedside manner is admirable, Doctor.
I'm sure your patients recover quickly just to get away from you.
But it's when she goes and okay, so Q discovers that he's hungry. He's like, "Ow!" I think.
And she rolled her eyes. Now what?
There's something wrong with my stomach.
It hurts?
It's making noises.
Maybe you're hungry.
One of the most hilarious things And it's also, I do appreciate, but it's not my favorite Patrick Stewart performance. But when he does say, "You fell asleep," like just the ridiculousness of, like, Q obviously has to be just seeking attention. He knows what back pain is. He knows why. I guess he can't get out of it, but he knows what hunger is.
He only knows conceptually what those things are. He's heard of them. He's never experienced them before.
Right.
This is how it's a fish out of water experience wise, not knowledge wise. He studies humans, so he knows what these things are, but to actually live them is another thing. You didn't see the clip? I played it earlier.
The life was oozing out of me. I lost consciousness.
You fell asleep.
Oh, terrifying.
Well, maybe I'm just highlighting Gates McFadden, and it's her own. No, she does have a couple other scenes later on with Data, but yeah, just really enjoyed her performance in that one scene. The way she is comedic and sarcastic and snide, and just great. So,
well,
loved it.
The thing is about the Enterprise crew is that Q picked the best place he could possibly be. Anyone else, I don't think, would be as nice as they are. They are standoffish. They're antagonistic. They're kind of rude to him, but it's kind of well deserved. But at the same time, they take care of him. They feed him. Or at least they try to, and they try to, treat him civilly, even at the same time. So this is just a personification of that. I'm gonna take care of you, but
neither one of us is gonna like it.
You may not like it. Yeah, you're not gonna like it. It's not gonna be pleasant.
Well, this is what happens when your frenemy falls on hard times, and you feel at least all right, fine, I'll take care of you. But once you're on your feet, I'm back to being enemies.
Yeah, it's well, and also Geordi at first dismisses Q's idea about the gravitational constant as impossible, but that jogs his imagination. So he comes up, because of Q, he comes up with an idea that's pretty on par with Scotty. We can't change the gravitational constant of the universe, but if we wrap a low-level warp field around that moon, we could reduce its gravitational constant, make it lighter so we can push it. And I think that's a wonderful conclusion, that he can do what Q said on a smaller scale by reducing the gravity of the moon. And it's pretty good. So Q is now, of course, he's hungry, like Scotty said. And Data.
We get some more great interaction with Q and Data.
Data is the one who is the nicest to Q out of everybody in this episode, and it makes sense that he's paired with Q, because who else could stand Q for so long? I don't know, but Data definitely has the patience. And Q asks Data what to eat and what he eats specifically.
Although I do not require sustenance, I occasionally ingest semi-organic nutrient suspension in a silicone-based liquid medium.
So why does it need to be semi-organic when he is a android?
It's a lubricant, and obviously some sort of organic material or organic fluid or compound, what have you.
Well, yeah, I mean, what is it? Modern engine oils. They're partly organic, partly synthetic. So
yeah.
Beautiful, thank you. That's the answer I wanted. I'm not a mechanic. So, although Data doesn't really eat, he has made observations that people's food choices are tied to their moods. And Q says he's miserable, so...
When Counselor Troy is unhappy, she usually eats something chocolate. A chocolate sundae, for example.
And I think that this is a very nice touch. in that Q has finally asked Data a question that Data does not really know the answer to. It's like, well, I don't eat, so I don't know what to tell you. And so Data extrapolates what he's seen before, but obviously Data is leading Q on his second day of humanity and saying, eat as much ice cream as you want, buddy.
I'll have 10 chocolate sundaes.
He could be lactose intolerant. We don't know that about his body. Has he had a full physical since he's come on board? No.
Ooh.
What's going to happen if this guy eats 10 chocolate sundaes and Data's just like, well, I guess. Data should know.
Let's see what happens. I have never seen someone. Well, he says, I have never seen someone do 10 chocolate sundaes. But he says, I'm in a really bad mood.
Yeah, and I've never eaten before. Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't work like that, but I wouldn't have minded seeing Q try to eat chocolate and see how far he'd get into the sundaes. But we don't get that because Guinan appears.
Oh yes.
She breaks up the chocolate party.
Well,
so before we talk about her, I want to see what's happening in the chat. I don't know.
I do actually have to step away for a second, Jill.
Okay, great.
I'll be quick.
Okay. Take advantage of the delta V. Yeah, the change in velocity. Ooh. Enterprise Tribble. Oh, yeah. Enterprise Tribble. Oh, well, since we need a minute here, I'll do this. Let's see if I have it here.
Fortunately, of course, I am immune to its effect.
Here's your triple. I always have a triple, and I don't know why I don't play it more often. Jill would make a great science officer. Thank you, James Caserta. I have a lot to learn, but I'd be willing to go through Starfleet Academy. Well, you have been a pain in our backsides. Yes. I didn't know Dr. Crusher would inflict pain. I don't think she is. I don't think she's trying to hurt Q. She's definitely not being gentle. But I don't think she's trying to cause him pain. She is healing him. And I think there's a bit of over-drama queen, over-dramatization from Q himself. From his injury, because he doesn't know what pain is. He's experiencing pain for the first time, stubbing his toe. And we're going to experience even worse pain. See, I don't think Dr. Crusher was trying to hurt him, but Guinan sure is about to.
Yeah. I think of all the members of the ship, the crew, she actually, from the beginning, I think she buys. She may be able to sense it. I think she buys into the fact he's human.
Well, she heard it on the grapevine from sources that she trusts. I don't know if it was from other crew members or from somebody else. Like she's been talking on the phone with somebody. She has a line to the Q continuum herself. I have no clue. That's why I like Guinan, because she's very mysterious. I mean, we never learn very much.
It does stand to reason, though. I mean, she is mysterious, and I think she's connected outside the ship. I mean, and news does spread, obviously, as we see later. News does spread of his defrocking. So,
wait, did Snorty say he's leaving? What's happening? Time for an afternoon burn nap. Oh, I missed that. That was a long time ago. Sorry I missed you leaving, Snortopoopas, but if you come back to listen to this later, I hope you had a great nap and you feel much better. Yeah, I don't really think Metrons or Organians are mortal. Yeah, so that's a really good question, honestly. Because, well, we don't learn a whole lot about the godlike species in the original series either.
No. True.
Geordi and his hologram woman. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Geordi does not know how to delete his browser history. I'm not sure.
Well, he's not the only one to have let's say issues with the holodeck. I mean, Broccoli does. Riker even does. Riker falls in love with Minuet.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, Riker and Geordi should understand. Lieutenant Barkley. I was going to say broccoli. Yeah, but that's still correct. It's both are correct. I love going on the test hour. Don't know what that is. And it's been a while. I had to jump online and say hi. I miss you and everyone in the chat. I love you all. Yeah, I miss you too. So glad to see you. And let's see, I'm just scrolling through to see what I've missed. This is a good moment for that.
Yes.
Oh, you were troll. Oh, okay. Well, well, it was good trolling. You're a very good natured troll. What's up with Q's grid? I'm not sure. His grid? 10 Sundays, you're gonna get the runs, says Brooke. Well, yeah, Q's got a lot to learn. And anyway, Q encounters Guinan, and he isn't in the best of states. So, because Guinan knows Q's been kicked out of the continuum. And this is where we learn that even as a human, he supposedly possesses an IQ of 2005. And
Yeah,
so,
strangely, a specific number there.
how he knows about the human IQ standard really speaks to how obsessed he is with humanity and its history. When he was sitting in the brig, did he take an IQ test? What happened? How does he know what his IQ as a human compares to what he was as a Q? But anyway, as you mentioned earlier already, she knows. She's the one person in the crew who is sure he's mortal. But Data shares everybody else's suspicions. So I have a GIF for it because I didn't get a chance to make a video. So she picks up a fork and she's sitting there in the bar to test his humanity. Seems human enough. Oh no, we don't have to see it again. Oh.
Yeah, she
Oh
gets
yeah.
good.
Yeah, Q gets stabbed by the fork and he hurts his back, stubs his toe. These are all new. They're not good sensations, but they're all new sensations for Q.
Yes, he's not having a very good first day or so.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention earlier with his back pain. He was like, wait, what do I say when I get hurt? Is it ow? Yes, ow. Ow. I think Guinan's delight in Q's mortality and humility that he's having to express is infectious. Q calls her a dangerous creature, and she reminds him of all the species that he's tormented. And at one point, Q calls Data a robot. And Data says, I'm an android, not a robot. I am an android, rather. No contractions. And Q says, I beg your pardon, and Guinan says, I'd enjoy that, and you'd better get used to it. Begging. You're a pitiful excuse for a human. And she finishes that off with this. Not that one.
The only way you're gonna survive is on the charity of others.
Ooh, I didn't realize how angry she was, but yeah, she's right.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was a little more scary than I thought.
I think she has more hostility. It almost seems she has more hostility towards Q than she does towards the Borg, who actually wiped out her people.
Yeah, she kind of does. Well, she loves the crew of the Enterprise, and Q brought the Borg to them.
Yeah, true.
Q made her relive that, but I think he did something to her before too.
Yeah, in that episode where he brings them to the Borg, she mentions to Picard, yeah, we've had some dealings.
Yes. So there's a lot of history between them that we're not privy to. I'm sure there have been novels, and people are talking in the chat about novels about Q and Data being turned into a human at some point, which is all very interesting to me. All the good Star Trek that I've yet to consume are all in novels.
Yes.
And so after this encounter, the 10 chocolate sundaes arrive. Look at that.
I'm not hungry.
I've lost my appetite now.
Yeah, so that's one of the, because I do have a poll up. What's the best aspect of Q learning how to be human? Discovering hunger, both hunger and the loss of appetite, and then experiencing pain, his back, the fork and toe. Finding sleep terrifying, and what's winning so far is learning about sacrifice from Data, which of course I figured that one was good. That's my favorite. So I figured that one would be a pretty good one. So, oh yeah, that history between Q and Kainen, that's pretty fun to think about. So we get back to the bridge where Scotty's supposed to be here to tell us where the bathroom is, but he's not here. So I forget where he said it was.
Oh, it's to the left of the door to the observation lounge, I think he said.
Okay. Oh, thank you. I forgot. So Worf sees that the sensors have picked up on some energetic plasma. And since they're organized, Riker correctly deduces that it's a life form. They just jump straight to that. They're just, yeah, this is definitely a life form. And so unfortunately, the universal translator isn't working on the life form signal pattern, so they can't talk. They can't just talk to them and tell them what's happening.
Well, they're also a brand new species.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Q has to say they're called the Calamarain.
Yes, we'll get a whole scene of him talking about the Calamarain, and no, not Alamarine.
Count to 4.
Elfman Bird is here.
Hey!
Oh, what an entrance you made. Thank you so much for the lovely gift. And also thank you for making it possible for Canadian Spider-Man to hang out in Texas, or helping with that. And oh man, it'll be fun talking about it next week on Spidey's channel. Yeah, Old Man Bird says, is it the Q's character's omnipotence or John Delancey's acting that makes him a favorite? John Delancey brings him to life.
Yes.
But the writing, but it would be nothing without the writing.
Well, and I had a theory while I was watching this. I think John Delancey is television's Gene Hackman. I think he can play comedic, menacing. He has a wide range. I just remember that he was in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he was the dad of that girl who was a drug addict.
Yeah, he crashed planes, yo.
Well, because of his daughter's death, yeah.
Well,
because he learned about it at the wrong time. You know, yeah. So, and yeah, that was, well, I think it says a lot about Q and why he's a favorite. I've had clips of Q on my channel for the longest time, way before I ever started reviewing the episodes. Like this one.
I need you!
And when I say that he is television's Gene Hackman, I mean that in the highest regard. I think that John Delancey's awesome.
But that's not all that. Well, what do you think? Oh no, Wes Cagle, it will be right back. I was going to ask Wes Cagle what he thought about this question from Old Man Bird. I don't know. It's both.
I can answer before I step away. I think it's perfect. I think it's his acting. I think it's his acting. It's the it's the writing is great, but no matter how great the writing is, if the actor isn't so inclined to deliver this performance, it's gonna fall flat, and he delivers it perfectly. I can't even imagine. I don't think there's many that I could find as an adequate replacement for him if he wasn't Q. So
Gene Hackman.
yeah,
Well,
we can
with
have
the
him if
wrong
you want.
actor, this
Not
being could come off really goofy, and with John Delancey, it's very believable.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thank you for the super sticker, Old Man Bird. My chat crashed on the YouTube side, so I got to refresh that to see what it is. It is a pear saying thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
Merci.
Maybe I will not chop you up and put you into my fruit salad. You're so cute. And Wes Cagle says, be right back. Okay. I'm reading the private chat aloud. So thank you, Wes Cagle, for answering the question before you stepped away. It is a good one. And Greek Letters Larson says both. And I think Wes Cagle's right. The acting is a little bit more important. Maybe. And yes, thank you for supporting the channel, Old Man Bird. Picard is a dunderhead. Well, I don't know. Picard's all right. He doesn't have a big this episode has Picard, but we don't get a big Picard speech. We get a big Q speech, but we'll get to that when we get there. James Caserta does think Delancey makes it. I think he makes it funny, but I buy it.
Well, it's kind of. Oh, hey, dead man.
Yeah, let's go for this. The dead man, or gives us a gift. Also, 99 cents of a poop emoji. I don't have to look at the private chat. I mean, the public chat to know what he's done.
Hooray!
I don't have anything poop related. Oh, but this is close enough.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Well, it's about expelling something, so it's good enough.
Good enough.
What were you going to say before we were inundated with gifts?
Oh, all the fun. It was Delancey is goofy, Picard is a dunderhead. I'm sure it was just a tangent. I forget.
I like tangents.
I know.
Remind yourself.
The moment is past. The moment is past.
I shouldn't have interrupted you.
No.
So then Worf announces they're being hit by energetic tachyons, our favorite tachyons. The shields are not helping. Data tries to help Q, but but there's static electricity or something that's blocking Data from helping Q, because Q gets enveloped by this stuff that comes into 10 forward.
Tries to bat it off of his legs both times. Great job.
Right, he's covered in tachyons. They're doing something to him. Yeah, he's trying to brush it off. Like, get off of me. And so LaForge adjusts the shield harmonics, and that works to block the tachyons. And so Q is freed, but he's in great pain. Once again, more pain for Q in this state. And we get kind of... why do I always find this line so funny when she says it?
Oh, how the mighty have fallen?
Yeah. I don't know, the delivery of it really strikes me as humorous.
I really feel like I understand that there is animosity between the Elorians and the Q continuum. I understand that these are apparently mortal enemies for some such. But yeah. Someone earlier in the chat said that Guinan was just taking advantage of the situation and being really mean, just wielding her cruelty over him. And I think that this is an actual cruel thing. But then again, don't forget, the first 2 times we saw Q, first time he put the entirety of humanity on trial and was seen as a threat. The second time we saw Q, he killed most of the bridge crew with like pigmen. Then
Wait, he brought him back?
Oh, that makes it better. Then he introduced humanity to the Borg, which cost the lives of 18 members of the crew.
That one, that he did not bring them back for that one. They were dead.
Yeah, well, that was a lesson they said they had to learn. It's not safe out here, so.
Well, yeah, fine. I think that lesson could have been learned without the loss of 18 members of my crew. Yeah. And so here, as far as we're concerned, yeah, sure, you brought back Worf and Wesley and everybody who died by the pigmen.
Why Wesley?
Why? Well, because the year was 1987 and Wesley Crusher was killed. 2 episodes later, so was Tasha Yar. The Enterprise D is not safe, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
I need to get a clip of Wesley being impaled by a spear now.
Oh my God, the bloodthirst on you Star Trek fans. Heavens.
Help me! Somebody help me!
How the mighty have fallen.
You know, this is a Muhammad Ali moment for her. She's just standing over, who was it? Who was that? Was it Fraser he's standing over in that famous photo?
I think so.
Yeah, good Lord. She's just standing there like, yeah.
He's gloating. Thronkill says it ain't easy being the poopricator. Repairman. It comes with a brown uniform. Oh my goodness.
TMI there.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a segment of engineering. So.
It is. It's like from season 1. They used to wear those stupid jumpsuits. They were like mustard color. Maybe that's one of the side effects of eating replicator food, is that your poo is now mustard color.
And we're back to the poo again. So.
Hey!
Well, it's a theme today. People want to talk about it. I do listen to the chat, and whatever interests them, I will humor it.
Yes, we did get a sticker on poop.
We did. We got a poop sticker. He did not know that there was such a big poop conversation even happening. This is new to him. Because we were talking about all the different kinds of new things Hugh has to experience. And maybe that's one of them that we didn't see on camera, since Star Trek does not deal with such things directly. And so... okay, so then we get to the observation lounge where they talk about the Calamarine. And we get a captain's log. Yeah.
It's your turn for the captain's
stop thinking
log.
About this. Captain's log supplemental. We have sustained light damage from an attack by an alien species known as the Calamarine. They are apparently have a grievance with Q. No doubt. One of many life forms that do. And so in the observation lounge, Q describes the Calamarine as inhospitable, but Riker and Picard, they know that Q has antagonized or tormented them in some way. They don't know. We don't know exactly what their history is with them, but he did something to them, and we don't know exactly what's the reasoning for it, because with the Enterprise, he wasn't exactly trying to hurt them, kind of. I guess he was, but he has reasoning behind the things that he does. I don't think he's just running around the universe with a microscope burning ants. So, if you know what I mean. He's like, maybe he's definitely putting his hands in a triangle so the ant can't escape, but what is he doing with them? I don't know what he did to the Calamarine, is all I'm saying.
And it's a good question. And I would say that I don't know, because I assume that the only thing that we've seen in terms of the interactions between the continuum and humanity is represented through Q. And so the first time you're on trial, you can't go any further. And then he says in the second episode that it's like, oh, yeah, but you have this spirit that we think would be beneficial to us. So here, have our power. And then through the course of the episode, it's like, no, that doesn't work. And so I do think it's experimenting. I think it's an experimentation to try and coerce a more collaborative, or at least for the Q continuum to glean some of the ideals and motivations of humanity.
Yeah, because when you've evolved so much, what do you do as a Q? All you have is discovery, if there's anything left to learn.
And so it may seem like torment. But then again, so Odo felt like he was tormented by Dr. Mora.
Yeah. It's true. They mention it. Q mentions it at some point, I believe, right? He says it's their capacity for expansion, for growth, and Q doesn't. The Q's continuum. They've reached the apex, so they stopped evolving for the most part, and they're afraid, that they're stagnant. So at some point, they're going to be overtaken. So they're trying to figure out how to gain some of that growth ability back.
Oh, and that could explain Q's obsession with humanity, because they have that capability that the Q have lost.
Yep.
So Riker considers just turning Q over to the Calamarine, and Picard realizes, well, I don't know why he's realizing this now, that Q wanted protection from the Enterprise, because Q said that at the beginning of the episode. But anyway, he's coming to this conclusion now. Maybe he was distracted. So Q asked, so human or not, I want no part of you. We will. So they're going to take him to the first star base that they find, although that never happens. It's just a threat here, and other things happen. And Riker predicts more of Q's victims are going to show up, not just the Calamarine. And so that he didn't sign up to do that all the time. So that's why they're going to send him to a starbase. And Q calls the human predilection for forgiveness a weakness. But Picard calls it a strength. However, they can't spend all their time protecting him. And Q argues that he could be useful to the crew. And Data backs this up, saying that he proved important theoretical guidance for Geordi's analysis of the Brielle satellite, of course, with the gravitational constant idea. And Geordi is changing the alignment of the warp field in order to do that, in order to lower the mass.
We get Counselor Troy's one of her only other lines there.
Oh, what was her line?
She says when Data mentions that he's been very helpful in solving this problem, she says, excuse, seems like you have a advocate. Data's like, no, I'm just merely stating fact.
Yeah, that's right. Data even defends himself. No, I'm not supporting Q. This is just what happened.
Well, an honest testimony is valuable in terms of the defense of the accused.
Yes, it's objective testimony. It's not even subjective from Data.
Absolutely amicable.
Okay, so I don't get any clips from this, but I really like the scene that's coming up here, because as Q and Data are going to engineering, they have a discussion about how, yes, Q is skilled. He's skilled enough to be a member of Starfleet, but that he doesn't know how to play nice with others, basically. That he doesn't know how to build rapport or meaningful relationships. Oh man, I didn't even get any. Did I even get any? Yeah, there it is. I can do anything as little trained minions can do.
How tall is John Delancey? He's got to be
over 6 feet tall. Something. That's something you can check the library computer on, because
you will.
Thanks. And so
I think it's funny the line that he delivers when he says, I can do anything that his little trained minions can do. And Data says, well, you've got to learn to work well with his little trained minions.
Yeah, that's great how Data reflects Q's language back to him. And so the moon's reached its perigee, so they're going to try to move the moon now. They're going to try to put their plan in action. But the only thing is that this isn't ideal anymore because now they're going to have to lower their shields, and this is going to put them at risk of attack from the Calamarines.
Apparently 6'3".
6'3". Thank you. Yeah, he's pretty tall. So Q walks into engineering like he owns the place, but Geordi is a good leader in this episode, and he begins to delegate him to control the field integrity manual. And Q tries to claim superiority, but LaForge is not having it, thankfully.
Q, get to the controls or get the hell out of here.
I like that.
Oh, and Data has one of the best lines, even better than Worf's lines right after that. When QQ says, hey, who does he think he is talking to me like that? And Geordi says, Data says, he thinks he's in command here. And he is correct.
Well read, thank you. I almost got that clip, but that is a good one. I enjoyed that. But he was really bored at his job, so he's not performing it very well. He has to be asked twice for information. And so they're engaging the tractor beam. They have to lower their shields. And then Geordi begins to extend the warp field over the moon. They can't fully enclose it, but they can partially enclose it enough to be able to decrease the mass of the moon. And Q mentions that the problem is that each part of the moon, the covered and uncovered parts, will have different inertial densities. So Geordi can compensate. And Q says, no, I don't think you can do that. But you don't know what this ship can do. And Q is told to shut up because he won't shut up, basically. And Data tells him to cooperate. And things seem to be working. But then the Calamarines start to attack and push the Enterprise into the atmosphere of the planet, which is a wild move on their part. That is kind of clever. And so the whole ship is filled with a bright light again. And Geordi can't send power to the shields because he needs it to get out of the planet's atmosphere. And so once again, there's more light on Q. The tachyons are attacking him again. And Q is pulled up into the air where Data grabs his legs. And the light wraps around him too. Did I get that? Let's see. If I got that in. Yeah, there it is. The light is wrapped around him. Also, I also got this in video format. Yeah. So apparently this episode was nominated for an Emmy for outstanding editing for a series. Obviously it didn't win, or I would have said that here. Single camera production, Robert Letterman, and for outstanding achievement in special visual effects. And I imagine this is one of those effects.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty mentioned that earlier. He says he thought that the effects in this were, especially for the time, were outstanding. So.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see where we are in the chat here. Old Man Bird is saying hello. And that something that Scotty said was a genius insight. He'd be very happy to know that. I'll start to read it to him later. Thronkill says it ain't easy. Oh yeah, I read that one already. We don't need to talk about that again. You despicable Scotty. You introduced Borg to a Federation for an opportunity for friendship. And you criticized Q for that. Despicable. He did it for from the goodness of his heart. It says Greek letters Larson. I don't think so. I think that makes sense. No, the Borg don't want to be friends. They want to assimilate. Phantom Outsider says Q's power loss gave him a new perspective of the ingenuity of humans. Yes, and also I think cooperation, how people work together. And it's something that Q's never had to do. He always been able to do everything all by himself. And so the concept of working with others is also new to him. And actually, my poll cannot contain all of the new things that Q learned about humanity in this episode. I wish we knew more about Guinan and Q. Me too. Rumor has it that Guinan was Q's ex, hence the hostility, says Greek Letters Larson. Wow, what?
Well, yeah. That
I
reminds me of the line
know.
from that's from I just watched it. My cousin Vinny when he has Marissa Tomei on the stand and she's being hostile, and Herman Munster, I forget his name. The judge says, "Do you know each other?" And he's like, "Yeah, this is my fiance." And he's like, "Oh, well, that would explain the hostility." Huh.
Oh, Phantom Outsider says the Calamarine are cloud-like energy beings. So my speculation, as a young Q, he used to remove their silver linings. Every cloud has one, and they did not like that. I was trying not to laugh until the end on that. That's good. That's good, Phantom Outsider. Q is protecting us from the Borg. Wait, James Caserta and Greek Letters Larson are pulling my leg here. Much like Data is to keep Q from floating away. So thank you guys for saving me from the Calamarine. Makes sense. Greek Letters Larson says Q did nothing wrong when putting humanity on trial. An aggressive species with history of slavery, genocide, and all sorts of atrocities expanding in the cosmos, he's absolutely correct to be alarmed. Well, the beauty of Star Trek is that we've gotten beyond that. We've gotten beyond the ugliness of that history. And that's something that Q did not understand. He didn't understand the evolution of history. And Picard showed a huge lack of vision. You have Q and Data, and you ask Data to ask Q for information, as Data would remember every detail of everything Q tells him.
Yeah. But would Q relinquish all of his knowledge? Because then he's not useful anymore. And he does say, "I just need to make Picard realize how indispensable I am."
Yeah, that's his goal. He wants to be protected by the Enterprise as a mortal being. Well, to Data, most people would be little trained minions, even Picard, but Data's too polite to say that. He is, of course. He explains exactly how to fix the situation with the moon's orbit. If Geordi isn't bright enough to understand him, it isn't Q's fault. Well, yeah, he does, and Geordi did come up with an idea based on what Q said. And that woke me up. Which part woke you up? Oh, the Data saving Q woke you up. Yeah, that was kind of loud. Sorry. No. I'm sorry I woke you up. I'm not gonna delete you, James Caserta. Not yet. I'll let you know. I'll warn you before I do it. Phantom Outsider says, remember Q only put them in the neighborhood of the Borg if they took Guinan's advice and hightailed it out of there. They never would have encountered the Borg.
Well, you knew they weren't gonna tuck tail and go home.
I don't think that's true. I think that really that I feel like the Borg saw them. You don't think the Borg? They were so close to the Borg. I thought the Borg would have seen him. But maybe you're right. I got to rewatch that. That's a good question, or at least for me, it's a question. Rob writes Gen X pop culture. This is one of my favorite episodes. You're probably right, Phantom Outsider. So, and there is Rob Wright, Gen X Pop Culture's link. Exactly. Yes. That's Greek letters agrees. And so they are able to get out of the atmosphere of the planet and survive another attack from the Calamari. And Data saves Q. And so Q falls back down, and they both fall over from the attack. And we cut to sickbay. Oh, look at that too. Glad I got that shot. But of course, they still haven't made too much progress with the moon because they were interrupted from the attack. So we go to sickbay where Geordi is working on repairing Data. And okay, so and Data. Okay, so his positronic net was nearly knocked out from saving Q. But Q is marveling at how he's just survived, and Picard tells him, Q, you exceed your own standard of self-preoccupation. You have no concern for an officer who may have saved your life. And yeah, so basically Picard's saying, hey, Q, you're being really selfish here. And Beverly ushers everybody out. But before Riker leaves, Riker asks about the moon's trajectory. And Riker's concerned that the Calamari will attack again. And Geordi says that Q is not worth it. And I feel like he's, it's very difficult to get Geordi mad at you. But you mess with his best friend. I mean, it's not. Data chose to potentially sacrifice himself for Q, but because he did that, Geordi almost lost his best friend here. And so even though it wasn't exactly Q's fault, he's still a little bit upset about it, which makes sense.
Yes.
For Geordi, because usually this kind of attitude would be out of character for him, but I think I can explain it away that way. And so now we're going to the ready room. This is the really big scene. So before we get into that scene, I'm going to catch up with the chat again. And I'm going to check one thing also. Okay. Uh-oh. Something crashed. Oh, let me fix that. Okay, fixed.
Oh, we're ready?
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Good now. All right, so we've already saved. Data's already saved Q, and they were already thrown into the atmosphere, and they got out of that.
I missed my favorite special effect. Okay, that's my fault.
Oh, was it this one?
No.
Oh, was it what was it?
He's trying to brush it off his legs.
No, has the Enterprise gone into the atmosphere from above?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a picture of it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite. One of my favorite all-time Next Generation special effects. I think they even used that in the teaser for Generations, I think.
Could have.
Yeah, this is a case where the Enterprise could have been destroyed if they didn't get out of here, if they didn't have the power. Luckily, they did have exactly the right amount to get out of this.
PvP is here. PvP, CA.
I always check the chat. PvP. That's yeah. I don't always get a chance to read everything, but I read everything I can. I do have limited time here before I have to re-enter the real world, and so
Before you're accepted back into the continuum.
yeah, right. I've got to pay the price before I'm allowed.
Yeah, exactly. This stream is your punishment.
Q could have destroyed the Borg with a flick of his wrist. Yeah, he could have. But that wasn't the point of his thrusting them into that dangerous situation. Great shots from this episode, Jill. Thank you. Yeah, I know. You make slides too, so you know how this works. Q is the Borg king. Wow. And Franco says, make sure you're on live chat. YouTube hides chats if you're just using the top chat. And so I don't even understand why top chat exists. Just to hide people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Q isn't protecting the Federation from the Borg. He's protecting the Borg from the Federation. Oh, man. Seeing Star Trek written by Greek letters Larson would be insane. Would it be like Robot Chicken?
Could be.
Would have been better than Lower Decks, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Franco Walker says, please vote in the poll. It's anonymous. Oh, okay.
Flick of the Wrist is Queen, a Queen song off of their third album. That's fantastic because in English vernacular, Flick of the Wrist.
Mm-hmm.
It means something. It means something.
Yeah. So Phantom Outsider says, FYI, the Enterprise D has 35 shuttles, and all of those shuttles could have expanded their fields and helped to move the moon. Scotty would have figured that out, but not Geordi. Oh, that would have been so cool, Phantom Outsider. I love that idea. Wow.
Yeah.
Why weren't you in the engineering room?
I did not realize they had so many shuttles. I didn't realize they had 35.
Me neither. I felt like, oh, maybe 10 or so. Yeah, I didn't really know that they had so many. But even 10 would have been good enough.
Yeah. That would have helped. It would have helped. No argument. But it's kind of like at the beginning of TOS. It's like, why didn't they pick up Sulu from the planet in the shuttle? Oh, they hadn't invented them yet. And so, I don't know. They just, for the story.
For the story. Rob Wright says, I'm doing well. I have the day off and just got a workout in. I plan to do my workout later. I'm going to walk quickly. So
brisk.
Yes. The 35 shuttles could have been used to shield the ship while it moved the moon. Geordi's not a miracle worker. Yeah, and the only reason he comes up with an idea is because of Q's idea. Geordi is a team player. Geordi is good as a group, which is why he's great for the ship, because he works well with others, and a lot of the time he finds the solution to the problem because he's talking to Data, and they're a good team. And I don't have a problem with the fact that Geordi is a good engineer with the help of others. Nobody reminded him about the shuttlecraft. Too bad he didn't think of that. That was a great idea.
Well, he's not a miracle worker yet because he didn't learn that lesson of how to be a perceived miracle worker from Scotty yet. That's later on. That's like in another season.
Oh, that's a good point. It's not yeah, we haven't had relics yet, even though I reviewed it.
Well, and also, like I would say that Q knows more about the astrophysical dynamics and physics and the astrophysics of the situation than Geordi would, not because Geordi's an idiot, but because Q has an IQ of 2005, and maybe Geordi's like, okay, so what can we do with the ship? Our biggest asset is the ship, and so maybe he wouldn't even creatively, it wouldn't occur to him to use the shuttles. Although I think that's a bit of a stretch, considering he used to be a shuttle pilot, and I think he has a reverence for the use of the shuttles. But I'm trying to talk them out of not using the shuttles, even though that is an excellent point.
Yeah, I think this episode did really well in terms of thinking through different logical conclusions, but that's one they missed. So good pointing that
Good
out.
catch.
Phantom Outsider, yeah. Daniel says, when will you start reviewing Deep Space Nine? The best generation. I have reviewed a few episodes. I'll make a playlist for you, Daniel, so you can see those. But I haven't. We need to do more. We really do need to do more Deep Space Nine. Maybe next time.
I'm in. I love that.
Yeah. Show. Yeah, I figured it would be good. PvP, thank you for the rock and roll history. Ooh,
if you're doing Deep Space Nine, my favorites are always with Bashir and Garrett. So I love the two of them together.
Oh man, I would love our man Bashir. I would love to do that episode. That's the thing.
Yeah,
whenever we've done,
that's the one I was thinking of. I was thinking
Nice.
of that one. Oh,
But the thing is that when we start doing
the key.
when we start doing Deep Space Nines, you kind of have to, because of the serialized nature of it, there is a. I think we did Way of the Warrior.
Yeah, there's an order, I suppose, in some cases, but even though it is serialized, they are also self-contained. We can jump around because we know what the arc is.
That's true.
And we'll fill in the blanks, as we need to. I've got a lot of Star Trek episodes to draw from.
We can review Deep Space Nine from the same perspective as the Cisco.
The way that I reviewed Star Trek past TOS, I'm spoiled with good Star Trek. 735. So I said that Geordi is a team member and he learns from others. And so Greek letters interpreted that as he's a cheater who steals ideas. That's funny. I don't think so. Damn, I need to work on miracles. Anyone giving walk on water lessons?
I just wait until it's frozen.
Yeah, that is walking on water. Way to go, Scotty. He did it. Ice skating. Yeah.
What would Brian Boitano do is my asking.
I was thinking quick on your feet. Geordi is annoying. Oh, Daniel thinks Geordi is annoying?
Wow. That's fair.
I like Geordi. Geordi is actually one of my favorite characters, but Daniel's happy when to learn that he was supposed to die in Picard season 2. Well, but that's not Star Trek, so Geordi's not dead. And between season 2 and 3, but the writers changed it because they thought fans wouldn't like. I don't care really.
Geordi wasn't even in Picard season 2.
I know. He was like in a comic book. They put him in the comic book. They're like, oh, here he is. He's in charge of the Planitia at Mars, or whatever.
Oh, right.
Shipyards.
I do. Yeah, I do remember hearing something about that. Yeah. No, fair enough.
Yeah, I read it because I was like, I'm gonna try to care, and that was ripped up from under me very, very quickly. Oh, Greek letters came up with the same solution you did, Scotty. That's awesome. Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
I want to see Jill review the alternative factor. You did see me review the alternative factor. I reviewed it with Pop Culture Curator.
True.
All of the original series are in playlists on my channel.
And the animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are those on Pop Culture Curator's channel?
They're on Pop Culture Curator's channel, but I saved it to my list too. You can find them on my channel also, but they're on his channel. That makes sense. And come on, seeing Lazarus delete himself repeatedly is great. Yeah, and I like his Jetsons spaceship.
Yeah, that is a pretty cool spaceship.
No PvP, we're just talking physics. You made that analogy.
Well, Gretzky comes close.
Yeah, see, Gretzky. Gretzky's almost Jesus. He's clean shaven Jesus.
Yeah. Jill remembers me from the future.
Yes.
All right. Okay. We do have an episode. I just
We
wanted to
do.
check in with you guys. And so let's continue to that. We got to get to the ready room. I was actually stalling for you to come back, Scotty. And hopefully you can, well, no, because this is a very important scene in the ready room when you
Oh, I understand what you're doing.
talks to Picard.
Yeah, it's a great exchange. It is a great exchange.
See, I don't feel bad about being a bad Canadian when PvP in the chat says Gretzky is a jackass. And I'm like, wow, I don't even like hockey. Thanks, man.
Okay.
That made me chuckle.
All right.
Anyway,
well,
so there we
That's
go.
fun.
God smote Q and Data because you told Gretzky to take a hike. So
Wait a minute. Okay, that doesn't
Yeah.
have anything to do with the episode. But
no,
that's
it
kinda-
doesn't.
okay.
No, it doesn't.
You're just teasing PvP at this point.
Yes.
And so, yeah. So, I've already described the sick bay scene. If you had anything to add to this,
Just one thing, and I really appreciate that both Jordy and Beverly are in charge of Data whenever anything goes wrong. We need an engineer and a doctor.
Yes.
And that's been consistent since like whenever. I think one of the greatest strengths of season 2 and Measure of a Man is if you had no Dr. Crusher in that episode, it would be like, well, she belongs here. But because she's not on the ship, it works better.
Oh, and Daniel's hot topics. I am in agreement with you. The second
Wait.
to last comment.
could you read it for me, please?
Daniel's hot topic says that lady at the helm looks hot. I was thinking the same
Hells
thing
yeah.
as we watched the episode. She is hot.
Wait, what? I didn't even notice her.
But don't you get the big flash of light again?
There we go.
Oh, okay.
It's still regulation in regards to her hair. Also, I really like how at this point in season 3, there is still a transition from the season 1 and 2 uniforms used on the extras and, just regular crew. It's great. It's kind of the same thing that happened in Generations when they were slowly transitioning over into the Deep Space Nine jumpsuits, and same thing with Deep Space Nine when they were slowly transitioning over to their jumpsuits. It's great.
Yeah. I never liked the season 1 uniforms with that piping on the shoulders. I never cared for that. I like these better.
Yes.
Neither did Patrick Stewart. He's much happier with this and his new Picard maneuver, which does occur during this episode, where he pulls down his little shirt.
Oh yes.
And here we go. And so in the ready room, Q is here to say he agrees with Picard. Yeah, Q admits, yes, I am selfish, but it's always worked for me in the past. And that he also admits he's not a very good human. And he appreciates the magnitude of what Data did to save him. He's ashamed that he would not have done the same thing for Data. And learning that from Data is really important. He's learned a lot about humanity from him. And basically, Picard says, I'm not your father, Confessor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not going to get absolution. And I'm still not sure you're being truthful about all this. And so then, basically, Q has this reason I'm so terrible speech here. And actually, Scotty, I was wondering if you could read it for me.
I figured you wanted me to read the Why Am I So Terrible speech, yes.
Not saying you're terrible, but I just want to hear you say it.
It's acting brilliant.
Yeah.
So, yes. Let me know. Is it all in the one paragraph, or is there more?
Yes, all in one. This is all we need.
All right. You don't want to lead me in? I just got to start this?
Oh, I can if you want to. In terms of, I can play this.
As I learn more and more what it is to be human, I am more and more convinced that I would never make a good one. I don't have what it takes.
It is a joke. A joke on me. The joke of the universe. The king who would be man. As I learn more and more about what it means to be human, I'm more and more convinced that I would never make a good one. I don't have what it takes. Without my powers, I'm frightened of everything. I'm a coward. I'm miserable, and I can't go on this way. Da, 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 da.
And he walks out of the room, and we never see him again. Episode's over. No.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
He
well,
throws himself into one of the. You remember at the end of like in season 7 where that one guy throws himself into like the warp matrix or whatever
Yeah.
in one of the cells?
Oh.
What if you did that? That would be the end
Yeah.
of the episode.
And they almost
Would.
get Troy to throw herself into it too.
And everybody throughout this episode, like this is one of those things, and I forget who is so thoughtful and kind and considerate, who posts if you are having difficulty and you do think that you need assistance, don't be a Q. You know, reach out.
That's
out to
DJ
people.
Play Nice.
Yeah, DJ Play Nice puts that in the chat all the time, and that's one of the things that kind of rubs me the wrong way about the crew, as we've discussed earlier. It's like because Q has been such an ass, then the crew is willing to just sort of dismiss him whole cloth. And so he basically comes in and delivers his, I hate saying this, unaliving note to Picard. And then he just walks out and Picard's like, yeah, well, do what you will.
Yep, goes back to
Do
drinking
what
his
you want.
tea. Yep.
Yeah, I got my tea. Yeah,
Yeah.
But you do say that, and he is that way. But at least he did listen. So not 100% dismissal.
Yeah.
Just okay. I'll listen to what you have to say, but you caused us a bunch of trouble, and so maybe this is something that you can take a step towards, changing yourself. Basically, Q has always been something different, and I think this entire thing might have taught him a bit of empathy. I'm not sure.
No.
Okay.
No, he says, you know what? I know I was a dick to you in the past, but like, what am I supposed to do? What? It is a joke. It's absolutely a joke on me. I used to have all these powers. I used to be able to do all this stuff. And now I'm just one of you. And
He's
I'm
disgusted
terrible at
with himself.
I
He's
hate it.
Yeah, he's disgusted with himself. That much
I'm not
I get.
even as good as the calculator who was showing me around, telling me how to be nice to people. Like, I suck at this. I should have been a Horta.
Yeah, he mentions that exact thing later on too, Scotty, about not being as good as Data.
Mm-hmm. And so I do.
Yeah. Well, in just a second, Wes Cagle.
Oh, yeah. But also, I am. When Guinan stabs his hand, when Worf says at the beginning of the episode, flat out die. Like, everyone is like, shut up, get away. We don't like you. And then he finally comes to that that conclusion. And he's like, fine, I'll go. And everyone's like, all right.
Well,
don't let
and
the
it's
door
not
hit you in
just
the face.
that's part of it, but also that's what he says, but also the Calamarain are causing that to be amplified greatly, because not only do they not like him, but he's also causing distress to the crew. They can't save the moon because the Calamarain keep attacking. And
Riker
Q
says
sees
give him to
this.
the Calamarain. Geordi says give him to the Calamarain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's surprising coming from
The
Geordi.
crew is like, pardon the swear, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Now that he's mortal, we should absolutely just whatever. Who cares? Push him into a well.
Well, then Wes Cagle was saying they don't really trust that he's not still omnipotent. They think maybe he's just faking it this whole time, which was the original idea for the episode, was that Q was faking it the whole time. But they made it better. So Crusher and Geordi are working on Data's language circuits so he can't talk. So Q has something to say to him. And so I'll have you read this one too, because I like this one also. It's
Okay.
too long for a clip. Oh,
Well, Wes Kago can do it if you want.
true. Wes Kago can do
Oh,
it. That's what I was
Sure,
thinking.
sure, it's fine. Yes, Q gets a moment to speak to Data without Data, saying anything, and Q says, "There are creatures in this universe who would consider you the ultimate achievement, android. No feelings, no emotions, no pain, and yet you covet those qualities of humanity. Believe me, you're missing nothing. But if it means anything to you, you're a better human than I."
So good. So good.
Yeah, that's a great little soliloquy there, or not really a soliloquy because he's actually talking to somebody, but
Oh, I did get part of it.
Believe me, you're missing nothing. But if it means anything to you, you're a better human than I.
you're a better man than I, Gunga Din.
I like even as Q is powerless, he looks at Data and it's almost, you're a better human than I, is almost like a threat. It's like, you're a better human than I.
Yeah, he delivers lines well.
It's like, it's soothing and it's like, thank you, and then at the very end and it's like, oh, you're so fucked.
Yeah, well, maybe they're not exactly nice to Q, but it's not like they throw him out of an airlock or anything.
That's true. PvP's got to go.
Okay, PvP's got to go. Okay, have a wonderful Friday, PvP. I'm glad you were here. Thanks for stopping by.
And he does say, I like seeing Data's head exposed. Or
Yeah, I do
brain.
like seeing. I like looking at the positronic matrix too.
I do too. I was absolutely sort of drawn to the makeup effect. And so good work. It just looks like you pull back his hairline. It's great.
Yes. And so Q finds and very easily steals the shuttle as none of these shuttlecrafts are protected. So Picard tells Q to return immediately, and Q responds this way.
I just can't get used to following orders.
And so, of course,
I feel the same way.
What's that?
I feel the same way.
I know. I was wondering if you were going to keep that one.
Yeah.
The aliens are approaching Q, so they want to, of course, destroy him. And Q begs Picard not to save him, and that maybe his death can have some dignity, but Picard even denies him that, saying no, it wouldn't be.
And that's where he delivers one of my favorite lines in this whole thing. When he's like, yeah, fine, yeah, death of a coward, then so be it.
Love it. Also, I would like to point out that in 1990, you are absolutely allowed to say, there is no point in this suicide. But
yes,
now...
as a human, I would have died of boredom.
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, in this more advanced age of our intellectual development and cultural acceptance, we are not allowed to say words on public forums that were broadcast in syndication in the year of 1990. How old would you, Wes Cagle, if you were born in 1990, how old would you be today?
Oh, God. Well, that would be 36, 35, 36. Yeah,
35 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or 34, actually, because you don't turn one until 1991.
I would not mind being 34 again.
Yeah.
You're half my age almost here.
But I'm just saying, it's just weird in terms of the intellectual development of a cultural society.
Yes. No, it's silly. There are words we're not allowed to say anymore that I say every day on Twitter.
Well, that's not my channel. I do allow that word, nor have I been punished for having used the word.
So there you go.
Suicide.
Maybe my protestations are in vain.
But maybe I don't know what the rules on YouTube are until I am affected by them.
Yeah, Well, you never know. You never know when they're throttling you because they're throttling you and you don't see it. So you never know.
Oh, that's true. Shadow throttling also happens.
Throttling is a word that references like strangling someone, and so maybe that word itself is
Could
throttling.
be.
Oh, it's so violent. It's too violent.
It is. Well, you could be referring to David Carradine. So I mean,
you could be talking about the great PS2 game Full Throttle.
Step 2. That too.
So, despite this, of course, despite Q begging, of course, Picard tries to beam the shuttle back into the shuttle bay, joking that it's really to save the shuttle. Like Picard doesn't joke about this too often, but he's like, "Yeah, it's a perfectly good shuttle."
Yeah.
That's why I'm saving him, of course. However, they are incapable of doing that, nor can they extend their shields to protect it. And they can't use their tractor beam either. That is why this episode's so great, is that they actually try all the things where every other episode I'm like, why don't they try the thing? But here they try the thing. It makes me so happy. Naladoc is here. Thank you for showing me that. I promise I will get you the chat. I want to wrap up the episode since we're right at the exciting part and I don't want to spoil the climax of it. I want to focus on it and then we will go through the chats and have fun with that also. I promise.
Yes.
But thank you for helping me realize Naladoc is here. That's important.
And Phantom Outsider.
And Phantom Outsider, yeah. Yeah, Phantom Outsider has been having some great chats earlier, and I'm sure they're great now.
It's funny. People are saying that you're not paying attention to the chat when it's me. I'm just like, hey, there's somebody. Click.
There's somebody. Well, yeah. Well, I've been, I don't know what's going on. I've been reading actually most of the chat this episode, but I want to, we're at the end of the episode and I want to get through it because it's important for this to also be entertaining to people who lurk and to people who will read, who will watch this later. And so let's, I think I'm doing what I'm doing purposefully. And I do care about everything that is said in the chat, and it's very important to me. And I will get to it very, very soon. Really?
No, Naladoc just wanted to hear me say scraggly.
Oh. Okay. So of course, then we find out exactly why nothing that they're trying is working. So we get to see a second Q. So this is the first time we get to see a second Q from the continuum. They're all one, but for my and for the script's own sanity, he is referred to as Q2. So we'll catch up to him in just a second here. See, we're right at the end of the episode, and we'll party in a minute.
And this Q2, he's great. I mean, he plays a Q perfectly. In my opinion, different than Delancey, but just almost the same. I can't act. It's the only way I can explain it. It's a great job.
Well, he has Delancey as an example, and he's like, okay, Delancey's hamming this up. I can ham too. Let's do it together. And he's played by Corbin Burnson.
Corbin Burnson, who shot to fame on L.A. Law.
Oh.
As some lawyer named Archie, I think. And then he also was in Major League. The first Major League. Actually, I think he was
he was the spoiled pitcher, right?
Yeah, Roger. And so he was in that. He was also in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, the incredible Robert Downey Jr. Val Kilmer film. He plays... Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it. And he's shown up in many productions. I think he flashed to fame at the beginning of his career, but he's definitely a working actor today who shows up in places that you never thought he would.
Oh. And Rob Wright says that he did this role uncredited. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, but also I think L.A. Law was a Paramount production, and so this was still somewhat when you were working under the Paramount Studio umbrella. It's like why people say that Cheers is a Star Trek holodeck program because you get everyone, like a lot of people from Star Trek show up in Cheers, and so I think it's the same situation with L.A. Law and our man Corbin Burnson, who I think is giving off, and I know I said this before, how John Delancey is television's Gene Hackman. Yeah, I think that Corbin Burnson here is playing Q2 as Jack Nicholson.
Interesting.
Which is
I did not get
great.
that.
Which is great. I love it. And maybe it's just me, but I think he's like, there'll be explanations and paperwork for centuries.
You're right.
The way he
Okay, I
says
didn't
it's
think about
great.
it that way. Okay,
And the
I'm
way
starting
he
to see what you're saying.
references his own hands, he's like, what a drab species. And he's rolling his hands as if he's trying to explain, and then he realizes that he's using these appendages, and he's like, oh, what the ugly.
It's like they're completely new to him. Like he's never seen or he's never had hands.
Yes,
before.
and he's critical of them.
Yeah.
He's like, I have hands, and I don't like them.
Yeah, he's waving them around like he's at some sort of rave, and he's hopped up on ecstasy or something.
That's right. So you've been to a rave? No, I kid. I kid. I've seen them on TV myself.
Yes, there it is. That's how I know. I've been to the limelight, let me just say.
Oh.
Okay, so contemplate. Okay, so Q2 says, "Do I detect a little selfless act?" And I thought I had a clip, but it's not here. Let me see if it's in my. No, I don't have it.
Hey, the Trek reviewer.
Yeah, you know when he
The
does,
Trek reviewer,
you know,
and
when
also
he does.
Lemon Pie. Let's make sure to say hi to Lemon
Yes.
Pie. It's here too.
Hello, Lemon Pie.
Lemon.
You know, he's talking the whole time, and he mentions, you know, it's like these humans, you know, they're even though you've tormented them, they're you know, they're willing to stick their necks out for you to say they're still in it right now. They're still trying to do you, but I blocked them. And when he mentions Q, still doesn't get this why he's really here until he does that with that little selfless act. Then all of a sudden you can see the dawning on Q's face. Oh wait, and he starts playing into it now. He wasn't playing into it at first. But he's the consummate opportunist. So the minute he sees an opportunity to get back in good, he jumps on it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he didn't realize what he's still at this point. Q still thinks that he's sacrificing himself to the Calamarine to save the Enterprise. No, he's always thought that, but he didn't think that was actually going to do anything for him.
Do I detect selfless act?
There it is. At least I got one of him.
That's great. That's great.
Q2 has been spying on him this whole time, and he's actually the reason why Q got in trouble is because Q2 is tired of apologizing for him.
Yeah, that's a great moment too. When he says, you know what, I've been keeping tabs on you, and Q's like, oh, I always knew you were in my corner. He's like, I'm the one that got you kicked out, and you can see it in Q's face, like, damn, too Brutus.
And well, yeah, exactly. He thought they were friends because they apparently got in trouble together because Q2 lost the Delta asteroid belt apparently.
But this isn't about him or Q2. I love that. It's like, shut up. I didn't get kicked out. Don't get mad at me. You're the one. Yeah. This is you. And like, yeah. But I really appreciate the fact that I do think that Q has been looking out for Q. And it's like Q thought that Q went too far and said, get him out. And now, after sort of observing and seeing almost like Q's judgment of humanity, Q2 is judging Q through the lens of humanity. Okay, fine. You want to torture these people so much? Why don't you become one of them? And so through this, the demonstration of some form. So I guess in answer to your question, in demonstration of any form of empathy, towards a lesser being, then yes, Q did sort of somewhat understand that every time you show up and, again, I apologize for the swear, fuck up somebody's cabbage patch, why don't you take the position of the people whose cabbage patch has been fucked up? And so I think this is Friends. I wish they brought back Corbin Burnson for Picard season 2, but I wish that's it.
Oh, well,
No,
I mean, that wouldn't have made it any
continuity?
better.
I think it would have made it like at least 4% better. Corbin
I
Burnson
don't know.
makes everything 4% better.
I did not get past episode 3 of that. I even tried to review it on this channel.
We're not here to talk about that. We're having the end of a good episode, Jill. Heavens.
Well, you just mentioned it.
I don't recall.
I don't think Q2. I don't think.
I don't recall that. About me. It's not about me. We're talking about Q2.
Okay, so Q2, like Wes Cagle was saying earlier, is intrigued that the crew of the Enterprise would still try to protect Q after all he's done to them. And of course, he stopped. Q2 stopped. Hello to Kim, and Q2 stopped the Enterprise from saving Q, so they can have this little discussion.
Yeah, they're doing it right now. They want to beam you up, back, whatever they do. I love it when people in Star Trek do not know what's going on with the technology of Star Trek, because a lot of people get so hyper focused on the technology of it, and I do too. But to see Q say, I don't know what they call it.
So can't be bothered with the proper terminology. Yes.
What do you do with these Star Treks? And as a reward for
now that's a Star Trek. Anyway,
the First Contact. As a reward for leaving the safety of the Enterprise in order to spare the Enterprise from the Calamarian attacks, Q2 reinstates Q's powers. And also because, but he claims that, I don't want to have to do all that paperwork and discussions with the Continuum for centuries.
Yep. Yeah, and he delivers another one of Scotty's Jack Nicholson lines there. You got your powers back.
Yeah, exactly. See it now.
Yep. And I also like when he says, "Do I sense that little selfless act?" And Q realizes where it's going. He's like, "Yes, I've learned my lesson." He's like, "Hey, who you talking to? All knowing, all seeing."
Yeah.
He knows he really hasn't learned his complete lesson. He's incorrigible, but he understands that he's learned something from this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think he absolutely did. I think Q is different forever because of this.
Oh yeah, I think this is why. I think this is why, in my opinion, this is what brings him to interfere with Picard in Tapestry.
Yeah, and there are times where he does good things
and helps him out, and all good things.
All good things, especially that one.
I have a theory. I have a theory. Q is not linear.
Okay.
So I think that this takes place after Deathwish.
The Voyager episode with the Q who wants to die?
Yes.
Oh.
And I think that allowing Quinn to die is what makes Q exiled.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, you can have that kind of theory because Q is kind of this strange being that doesn't exist in exactly the way that we do. So why not?
Well, and there are dialogue. It is totally headcanon, but there are dialogue cues, no pun intended, within his character appearances where he says, "You exist so linearly but he's more like playful with it. It's not like a philosophy and a way of life as it is with the wormhole aliens. But like this is something where I'm like, oh, okay, so all right. Just because he was fucking with people, he gets. I'm sorry, it is Friday, and as the time goes on, I just drop more and more f-bombs.
Well, and that's why all good things makes some kind of sense, because if anybody can hop around time like that, it's the Guardian of Forever and Q.
Yes, yeah, and I do absolutely think that this redemption, if you will, do you think it's a redemption when Q gets back his powers?
A bit, yeah. But like Q2 said, he didn't completely learn his lesson because...
If you think I tormented you in the past, my little friends, wait until you see what I do with you now, Q.
Right.
So he still has that. He still has the same... He's still the same, but he's thinks about it differently now. He knows what it's like to be hurt. He knows what the pain that the mortal creatures feel when he's tormenting them.
Well, if it weren't... Sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I was going to say, if it weren't for the Calamarain, then Q would have actually been able to prove himself as a contributing member of the ship. And so it's kind of like going to your ex-girlfriend's house and then your new girlfriend shows up and says, "What are you doing now?" And it's like, if you had just fucked off, it would have been great. I would have been able to prove to them that I can move a moon.
Yeah. Yep. So he shouldn't be mad at the Calamarain. He should be grateful for the Calamarain.
No, he should be mad at the Calamarain for making it so he can't become one of the members of the crew.
Oh no, they said they were going to drop him off at a starbase.
Not if he had helped with the moon.
Yeah, but he would rather be a Q. You know this.
That's true. That is also true.
See, Data wants to be human. Q doesn't want to be human. That's why it's a punishment.
Yes.
I guess. He would have died of boredom, he said himself.
But as a human, I would have died of boredom.
Yes.
So he blows the Calamarinian away, and so we assume that they're okay.
Yeah, that's what they call those. You were worried about the Brianna 4s. The Briasias? What are the names of the people who are threatened by tsunami? Breas. The
Brails? Oh, the Brails. Oh, yeah.
The Brails.
Brails. Braids.
Yes. And so, yeah, I guess it makes sense that these people would be called Calamarinians.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for Calamarania.
You haven't...
Mon Capitaine! He's back!
He's back!
Yeah, so Picard thinks... So finally Picard does think that Q is mortal and thinks it's the end of him, that he's been destroyed by the Calamarinians and the Calamarinians left. And then that is why...
And what does Picard say?
That's the end of Q?
Yeah, without a tear shed, without any concern. Well then, I guess it's good that he mentioned it, but Picard, at the end of the episode, is like, I don't know.
Well, thank heavens he's gone.
Yeah, exactly!
God.
What a bunch of dicks.
Q!
I wanted more mariachi. Sorry, I played mariachi music over your analysis of the crew.
No, that's fine.
Because the crew doesn't love Q as much as you do.
And see, this scene goes to my point, though. I think that although they had started believing that he was actually human, because they did not see the conversation on the shuttle, and this happens, they're convinced now it was all a scam, and Q was just playing him the whole time.
I don't get that. Where did they say that it was? Where does it say that they thought it was all a scam?
It just seems like they don't say it. It's the way if I was a member of the crew, I would think he had just pulled one over on us again.
I think it's a very interesting writing choice to have Data not be able to speak, while it gives an opportunity for John Delancey and Q as a character to give a profound sort of thank you and reward to Data before we get the ultimate reward. In Data's laughing, which I assume everybody knows is going to be happening shortly. The fact that Data can't talk is reflective of earlier in the story, where Data was the objective sort of assistant. He has been trying. He has been doing things to make himself useful to the crew, and then he gets electrocuted while Data is saving Q. And so I do think that because Data is short-circuited and he doesn't get to talk through the rest of the episode until the very end, he would be the person who's like, he would continue to be the objective witness as to how Q is beneficial. And especially if he was still assigned to Q when Q went to see Picard. Data shows up and reinforces things. I don't know. Everybody should have a Data. Data is everyone's best friend.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
we
if
have a
you have to
fistful
be
of Datas.
babysat, yeah, if you have to be babysat as an adult, it should be by Data.
I did. All right. Well, it's going to take some positronic matrices.
The mariachi band plays the song La Paloma.
And I have never found a better rendition of it than here.
Yeah. And apparently, well, I'm not sure. I don't know where this information comes from, but apparently when Q starts with the mariachi band, everybody's laughing so much that they have to change. They used a different angles with the actors' backs for that. And
I saw that myself. Like, I saw that piece of trivia myself.
And I'm not sure about that trivia. It could be false.
Right. I think it's, I'm going to chalk it up under questionable, because when I saw that trivia, it said that Michael Dorn is visibly seen hiding his face because he cannot contain his laughter. I think he's contributing to the scene in terms of just bending over and not, like, just hunching over and shaking his head as if, oh no. Yeah. I don't take it as him being overwhelmed by the laughter of this particular, because this would have been a setup. This isn't anything. Michael Dorn wasn't surprised by the appearance of the mariachi band. They all showed up. They all stood there and someone said action. And then he was supposed to be like, oh no, what is this? I don't think that happened.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, because Worf reacts exactly the way you would think he would, which would be intense groaning and pain, and just cannot.
Maybe even just the director added him like doing something, because Worf might have just been stoic, but they wanted some movement in that upper left-hand corner of the frame. Just something to differentiate. Makes it a little bit more alive, and so I don't want to take away from Michael Dorn's performances as Lieutenant Worf, because I think he does a great job. I think he does a great job every time he's there, except for when he gets to be a father.
He does. He's well, and he shows frustration here, and we'll leave Alexander for another live stream. That is a whole different conversation. Oh my gosh.
That sounds good.
Yes, so he's got his power back and he's very, very happy. And he says, yay, I'm immortal again. And Riker gets his one-liner for the episode. He says, well. He was overjoyed, so of course he says, I'm going to share my joy with you or something. And he does. This is yet another clip that I've used on several occasions. But now, here's more of it.
I don't need your fantasy women.
Riker can get all the women he wants on his own. He doesn't need your help.
That's right. Yeah, Riker knows how to be taken advantage of.
I like that when he tells him, "Oh, you weren't so what was it? You weren't so stuffy before the beard."
Stolid.
Stolid. That's it. And then he's the look Riker gives him when he says that.
Do you guys
so
know?
stolid? You weren't like that before the beard.
There it is.
Every time we play this clip, I'm always like, "What does stolid mean?"
I guess unfun. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just thought a stick in the mud or something. I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Apparently, from Oxford Dictionary, it is in reference of a person who is calm, dependable, and showing of little emotion or animation.
Oh,
so I don't see. That's not stolid. Doesn't seem like much of an insult for a first officer. Seems like a
quality.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like a pejorative.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's what a Starfleet officer should be.
Well, either way, it's a fantastic word. I'm glad that I learned it.
Mm-hmm.
Q! But I feel like celebrating.
I don't.
These are like clips I've already used, but extended cuts. And now you got the extended cuts of these clips that I've always loved. And whoa, what is this? Oh yeah, I love this one too.
As a human, I was ill-equipped to thank you. But as myself, you have my everlasting gratitude.
Which I do believe to be true.
Yes.
I do too. Yeah, and he's especially thankful of Data, my professor of humanities. And so, of course, as Scotty said, he gives him a special gift. And of course, I would never curse you by making you human. So
I would never curse you by making you human. Think of it as a going away present.
So everyone buckle up for this one because I've got all the laughter and I couldn't curate it. I wanted all of it. It is. It's very contagious kind of laughter and so amazing. And I have more.
Data.
Why does Geordi have to interrupt him? He's having the time of his life here.
That is such a nice touch, seeing Troy.
I actually like that too because that indicates that she can actually feel his joy too.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a verification of what he's feeling.
And that's why Geordi interrupts. Keep going.
Data, why are you laughing?
I do not know. But it was a wonderful feeling.
That's why. I think it's great. Not only the performance of Brent Spiner, doing it, making it so that it was not only just him enjoying it, but also playful. And then you cut away to the other people who notice how playful it is. Like, I love how Troy, again, it's one of those things where you don't get a lot of times, like, even though she's set up as being an empath, there are times when her being empathic is just sort of like, yes, Captain, emotions. But when she actually has an opportunity to act, Marina Sirtis gets that opportunity. She does a good job. I like the fact that it was put in there. And then with Geordi, I'm sure he's like, why are you laughing? As in, like, he's asking him as an engineer and his friend, fuck whatever. Sorry, I should stop with the F-bombs. Forget whatever is happening post the movies. But, like, Picard is not Data's best friend. Geordi is Data's best friend. And so for Data, or for Geordi to be concerned about Data, but also amused by the fact that Data is amused, it's a playful scene. It's a cherry on top of a whimsical episode. Absolutely adore it. 12 out of 10.
12 out of 10.
And that's not just for the entire
answer.
episode. I'm just talking about the laugh.
Oh, well, that's what I give the whole episode as an A+. So, so we can, yeah, definitely. I love that Q gives him this gift, because before this point, Data's been curious about laughter. He's faked laughter before. He's pretended to laugh. That's always fun too. And to know exactly what it feels like instead of just pretending, that has to be incredible. And
well,
so the natives,
and then we get to see it in generations.
And that's not the only gift that Q leaves. He also fixes the moon of Brielle 4. Right. So we don't have to worry about the gravitational constant thing anymore. Q just fixes it.
Yes. Which is great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a nice diagram once we get to it, because I have not been playing the slides. But the moon is restored to its orbit, although it's described as a circular orbit, which is a little bit odd, but I guess that's
weird.
What it was.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That is strange.
Well, okay. So it was described as being an asteroidal moon at the beginning of the episode. So it has entered orbit and it has decided to circle around the Brielle. So at this point, like, what are we going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Because it's come from outside of the orbit of Brielle 4.
Mm.
So
which could mean why it had such a weird orbit the first time.
So, yeah. You wanted to fix the orbit of this particular rock? Okay. Here's the circular orbit. Deal.
Yeah, probably more stable, yes.
Okay. I'm easily placated even with my questions.
Perhaps there's a residue of humanity in Q after all.
Yeah.
Henson? Don't bet on it, Picard.
I like that. I do like that. Although, yeah, I do like that.
Huh?
I was going to say, do you think anybody on the bridge actually knows what a cigar is?
Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Well, no, yeah. I was going to go with
that's how we would
when
know.
Q shows up on the bridge and puts stuff in everybody's mouth. That's not what I'm saying. Is that, like, do Picard, Riker, Geordi, and Worf know what a cigar is?
Sure, they've seen it on the holodeck when Picard does his,
Dixon Hill? Oh, yeah. No, but that's more cigarettes, but still the same thing. Yeah. I'm sure there's
they also weren't there cigars when they went to the that gambling place where they found the astronaut?
The Royale. Yeah,
Royale. That's it. Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they might have experienced it that way too. Though, the holodeck, or
That guy was actually. I think that guy was actually in the first episode. I think he was in Encountered for Farpoint.
I think that Troy would have known about a cigar because she learned classic psychology, so she would know about Freud.
That's so funny. Yeah.
So I did review this episode before, but it was for Clobbering Times for Saturday Night Star Trek. I miss you, Clobby.
Oh.
And so I'm going to read my short review that I made for him a couple years ago. I gave this episode an A+ as an outstanding character study into Q's experience. I haven't read this in a while. In humanity and what he learns from his failure. Hilarity, fun, drama, and it doesn't forget to bring a little science fiction along with it. love when Q says Data cannot feel, and yet you covet those qualities in humanity. Believe me, you're missing nothing. But if it means anything to you, you're a better human than I. Oh. And also, okay, one more. Death of a coward, then so be it. But as a human, I would have died of boredom. This review is just me quoting stuff. Okay, then next one says the episode had me wonder how much it changes Q after this to have felt pain, hunger, and fear. This is what I said today, and I did not reread this review. The best part is that it is answered when he corrects the moon, though he doesn't have to. Nobody's making him do this. Like Q Continuum didn't say you're gonna get your powers back if you do this, fix this. But no, he just does it. That is very, very special. And I almost forgive Q for the suffering he's caused so many species just for giving Data a few seconds of laughter. I don't know. Maybe I don't agree with my past self for that one. That's no excuse to be causing suffering, Jill. What's wrong with you? Okay, it's too bad that this magnanimity. Oh man,
Magnanimosity?
Yeah.
Adequosity?
Magnanimousness.
Aquaticness?
It's a remnant of humanity.
Right.
I don't believe. Oh, okay. Pastel doesn't think that this as Picard states it, residue of humanity will last very long. I don't want to believe that one either, but it's possible Pastel is correct.
What, that it didn't last very long?
Yeah, if it didn't last, and then he wouldn't have. I'm telling you, Picard would not have figured it out in the All Good Things if Q did not. Man, he basically almost gave him the whole thing. So.
Right, and we wouldn't have gotten Tapestry and all of that.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah.
True.
Pardon me. I'll just be I'm on Q's side. I love Q. Q rocks. So you guys can talk about how you don't like Q all you want. I have to go.
I like Q. No, that was past Jill. I think I like Q more now than I did back then. It was interesting reading my my assessment of it.
When was it?
Just 2
when
years
did you do
ago,
that review? 2 years ago?
I think it was about 2 years ago, yeah.
I don't know. Because with Clobby, I only got to see while he was doing I think mid to end Deep Space Nine, and there was some Voyager, wasn't there?
Yeah, he got into like season 5 of Voyager.
Yeah. So I don't think
in Voyager. Yeah.
I don't think it must have been a little bit longer than that, or maybe it's not. I don't know. Because I wasn't there.
We might have gotten to season 6. I'm not sure.
I didn't learn the pleasure of Clobby until Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty, Rob Wright thinks that you're secretly a Q. So.
Oh.
I wish. Thing. Yeah, I wish. I am a low rent Q. I'm Q without. I'm Q without powers. In other words, I'm an ace hoe.
Is that what it is?
Well, then what are you doing up in Canada? You need to be in Jersey if you're an asshole.
Oh, is that a rule? All the assholes have to congregate in New Jersey?
Yeah, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them here.
Well, speaking of plenty, I have about 200 chats I need to look at.
Yes.
I'm gonna be looking at these. PvP is alive. Yeah, I know he's not here anymore, but that's good. I'm happy about that. And I'm sure there's quite a bit more to go here. Rob didn't know about the 35 shuttle. Yeah, I didn't know how many either. Now I'm gonna remember that forever. So thank you. Thanks to the chat for teaching me. And I've read that one. Oh yeah, I've read some of these, so we are kind of far behind. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't know where I am yet. I'm looking for the bookmark. Phantom Outsider said, what would have made this scene more interesting is if Q took over and he repaired Data. Oh, in the sickbay scene with Beverly and Jordy. That would have been interesting, but that wasn't his job.
No.
And they were plenty qualified to do it. If they needed Q's help, they would have asked for it.
I don't think that they would have allowed him to to touch Data.
Yeah, I think it's a creative idea, though. And Lemon Pie's here. I'm so glad Lemon's here. And Daniel's Hot Topics never got that the uniforms from season 1 and what we are looking at are like pretty much the same. Oh. Yeah, there's some differences, and they were discussed earlier about how everything is arranged on the uniform, especially it being in 2 pieces and not a onesie.
Yes.
And early TNG had some good episodes, but many bad ones, says PvP. And I'm going to contend that statement at some point next year. I'm going to make a video, but this year and well into next year, I am consumed with Lord of the Rings. So it'll be a little while. And is it realistic that Picard can match arguments with Q and win? Yeah, of course, because Picard has a different perspective as a human, even if he isn't intellectually on level with Q.
I think Q also sometimes underestimates Jean-Luc, like the where he quotes Shakespeare and then Picard just quotes it back at him. I don't think he was expecting that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've got to. Yeah, we're going to do all the Q episodes, Wes Cagle, so I'll let you know when those happen.
Cool. Very cool.
And that'll be good. That's true. Yeah, they have sparred intellectually and it works. Now the doc says, occupy Jill's chat. I think that's a great slogan. Wait, isn't Friday Plomeek Teatime? It is. I just didn't label my stream correctly today. I got too excited. This episode's too good. Jill's bot is sharing my yet to be fully released channel. Oh yeah, it is. As long as you're okay with that, I'll remove it if you're bothered by it. But I think it's cool. I think you've started something great. Phantom Outsider says, I mean, it was odd that Q would, let's face it, not the best and brightest Starfleet ever produced. Fumble around trying to fix Data. Who saved him? Oh, man. I think I love Geordi more than Phantom Outsider. That's the one thing I think I can conclude from today. Picard's deep, heavy sigh started with this. Yeah, definitely agreed. And, what? PvP says, okay, if I was Batman, I'd want Jill to be Robin. She said she'd need a total makeover in costume. What?
Oh, that said she'd need a total makeover in costume. I don't know where this comment came from, but he's saying that, yeah, he said he wanted to be the sidekick, but the costume would have to be changed. So.
Okay, interesting. I do like Batman. Or what is this? The 60s Batman? Are we gonna punch people up and letters are gonna pop on the screen? I don't know. And then I have to solve riddles. This is a lot of work. James Caserta says Picard is a xenomorph? I missed that episode, James Caserta. You'll have to show me. Okay. So Phantom Outsider has some better ideas here. See, that speech would have been better. Data may have sacrificed himself for me, and I abandoned him to those incompetents. And he heads back to help Data, which would have been way better. Well, I do really like Q, so I wouldn't mind seeing Q pick Data. That could be good. So Daniel also says, OMG, I don't understand why the Q crew hate Q. And they say he gave them trouble in the past. Well, he thrust them into the Borg space.
He killed Worf.
Yeah. And, well, I was going to say Wesley, but wait, no. We were okay with that. What did he do to them? Some moron years ago told me he put them in the penalty box, and that is dumb. Yeah, they were temporarily killed in that one, so I guess you can forgive him for that. But the Borg is not forgivable. James Caserta hates the characters. I guess that would interfere with your enjoyment of the show. But Daniel agrees with you, James. Oh. Yeah, and you couldn't do that, PvP, because I wanted to be able to get through the entire review without being rushed at the end. You know, how sometimes that happens, and that didn't happen this time because we focused on the episode and got through it, and now we can hang out and have fun.
Yeah.
I feel much more relaxed now. Phantom Outsider says, well, here's something we know from later. The Q will usually not let a Q be unalived unless they oppose the continuum. Right. Right. And yeah, after this, Q are not allowed to try to self-delete or have suicide. That is an interesting idea.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting question when it comes to Death Wish in terms of whether or not that is, I suppose, any instance of imposing death upon yourself is referred to as suicide. But when, like, I don't know, there's something about Quinn where it's like, I've done everything. There's only one thing I haven't done. I've experienced every possibility except one. So why can't I just explore that, no matter what it is? And I like how even for the Q continuum, death itself is an unknown, which is something that had never been explored.
Well, especially.
So
yeah, and Q mentions that in this episode is that you've known about death all your life. This is new to me.
Yeah.
Daniel likes Data because he has super strength and super intelligence, and he's functionally immortal, but he can be destroyed.
Fully functional, if I don't remember correctly.
Oh, yes, and also fully functional. That's also a benefit.
Yeah.
He's a jewel, apparently.
My stars.
You wonder what Q would have made of Flint. From Requiem for Methuselah. Ooh. Yeah. Good question. Daniel's Hot Topic says, I think they started filming Strange New World Season 5. The final 6 episodes. Daniel cannot wait.
I don't know, man.
God bless you.
But Daniel, when it comes to the filming of Strange New Worlds is like literally filmed within my my area code. So I am always curious about what's going on. And I don't know what to expect. I think my eyes are going to be glued to season 5, the truncated short one, and see how they try and get all of these square pegs into round holes and call it canon. Like, I can't wait to see the gymnastics. So.
Well, I mean, are they actually going to do any gymnastics? They only have 6 episodes, and one of them is a puppet show.
They've mentioned the possibility of gymnastics. They have also been very vague as to not mentioning Boyce or Piper. I think they're going to, forgive the term, but I think they're going to race swap Gary Mitchell. It looks like they're gonna take 2 female ends of an extension cord and try and slam them together, and it's going to be awful for everyone who has ever watched Star Trek and the 735, and been
Ugh.
like, so. And then there
Oh
are
my
people
God.
who watch New Trek and they're going to be like, can you make this work? And the answer is, have you ever tried to hook up a Nintendo with a Sega cable? It's
No,
not.
Scott.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
You telling me
And it's going to
this?
cause more war, and people are going to feel justified, and other people are going to just be able to separate their peas and carrots and say 735. JJ Kelvin and New Trek, and you can have your 3 versions, and then you can have the baby people who like to fart in turtle.
And I can just hurl at all of it and not have to watch any of it. I have not watched this current season.
I just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
there
exactly.
you go. That works too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
If you like it, oh, God bless you. You go watch it. I don't have to.
The only way I experience New Trek is through Major Grin and UK Danger Man, who I will send you to after this stream. And oh man, no, it's just gonna be the worst thing ever. And no, there are no peas and carrots in New Trek. It is all rat feces cemented in what pretends to be a cheeseburger, but really it's a plant-based burger, and it's been sitting in the garbage for quite a while.
It's an impossible burger.
It's a rat burger.
There you go. It's a caper. Yeah, it's a caper. No, it's a rat turd.
Oh my God! I dropped a scallop on the ground. Oh my God, guys! Did you see that giant booger?
So, I don't know. I think I just woke up from a seizure. Lemon Pie says Q became human and did unalive himself in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Yeah, absolutely, with Rebecca De Mornay and oh my stars! I think it's with Billy Campbell as well.
Billy Campbell. I need to see
Annabella
this movie.
Sciorra.
Count de Monet.
My friend Jacob was born in 1995. I didn't actually have a seizure, by the way, guys. I was just joking. I wish I was born in 1995. I was born in 1987, says Daniel.
Huh.
I was born in
high school.
Yeah, I was born in the 70s, yo. So
I'm glad I was born in the 80s. Being a 90s kid was so much fun, Daniel. You regret your existence in the time period you were born in, or you just want to be younger.
Yeah.
And the second one I understand more.
Yeah. I mean, I thought being a preteen in the 70s was great because it was wild. Being a teenager in the 80s was great because it was just, again, it was a wild time to be a teen. And then the 90s was pretty good being a young adult. Now it just all sucks. So
I disagree. I don't think that everything sucks. I think that I don't know. I subscribe to the idea that everything that I was afraid of from the future has come true, but everything that I wanted from the future, except for flying cars and hoverboards, has also come true. I'm like totally fine. I don't need lunar colonies or Mars bases or space travel because I find that as frightening as traveling under the ocean in a submarine. But I think that all of my terrestrial requests have been fulfilled, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm bored. Like I would die of boredom being a human now, having been born in the 70s. Yeah. And it's just like, we have everything. Like I used to make a joke, I still do. And it's like, so Scott, what did you do today? I read the internet twice.
Same thing we do every day, Pinky.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm happy with my my aging. I'm happy with my age. I'm happy with my body. And maybe that's what it is. Everyone's experience is different. Everyone has a different point of view, and I welcome most of them, not all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate this one, especially James Caserta says Stewart was all wrong for Captain. He was an old fart. And yeah, that's what Gene Roddenberry thought too. But it worked out more or less in terms of I do appreciate Patty Stew's performance on several
Patty
occasions.
Stew. Well, Wes Cagle, have you seen anything else that Patrick Stewart has performed in?
Oh yeah,
that
he was in.
that you
I've
thought
seen,
was good.
Yeah, he was good in Excalibur. He was good in Dune.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
His role was very small in Excalibur, but yeah.
And Dune.
It was, yeah, they were both small roles. I don't really know of him any big roles outside of the actual stage, and I didn't see him on stage. So,
well, Jill,
Q is kind of depressed. I think you're right, Phantom.
I made mention of it in terms of I never saw. I always thought Patty Stew was a one-trick Picard, and you pointed out something to me.
Yeah, and he even fails at it later.
Yeah, but like I don't think that's a fail. So when Professor X, when Patrick Stewart is Professor X in X-Men 1 and 2, totally fine because he's knocked out of both of those movies. Like in the first,
That's right. That's what I asked you. Didn't you like him in X-Men? And you did.
And then
like the first two.
I like the first two, but in both of those, he gets knocked out and he's in like a coma for the rest of the movie. And then in X-Men 3, when he gets to live a little bit longer, it's like, oh yeah, no, Charles Xavier is a dick. And so like, I don't know. I don't have any positive considerations for Patrick Stewart as an actor aside from Star Trek The Next Generation.
Well, how about his death in Logan?
Oh, that's pretty... Well, no, he's good in Logan. He is good in Logan, but also, again, what do you do with Charles Xavier when he gets too powerful? You fucking kill him. Sorry about the swear.
Well, they did. And
Yes.
it was that violent to validate that swear.
Thank you.
Greek Letters Larson says, Q isn't the hero we want, but it's the deity we deserve.
True story. I pray to Q. No, I don't.
Okay.
That's blasphemous.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Okay.
when did that ever stop?
About 40 minutes
next
ago, Naladoc left for a nap a long time ago, so I'm glad you talked about scraggliness while he was still here.
I'm scraggly. Thank you, Naladoc. And bless you, sir, in all of your endeavors.
Isn't that in that song Gaston? Not a inch of him scrawny or scraggly, and every last inch of him's covered with hair.
Well, and I know this is going to mean the square root of Jack Squat for everybody else in this chat, but it'll be a brief story. Is that there was one moment where I was making fun of somebody who was talking about, oh my stars, who's the Bond lady inspector? Monica Bellucci. And so people were saying that Monica Bellucci was too old to be in the in Spectre, and I was like, "Well, of course she is. Look at her hair, scraggly." And so I was being purposefully demeaning towards the beautiful Monica Bellucci, and it is something that Naladoc and I share in our friendship, is that he does adore it when I don't know. There's something about the inflection of when I'm like, "You fugly" kind of thing that I did that one time, and he likes hearing it every other time, and I am more than happy to perform. Cheers! I hope you enjoyed your nap.
The story, I didn't know about the whole story that happened there. Rob says airplanes knocked out his internet. I'd never had airplanes knock out my internet. Interesting. What did they do? Fly into? Well, I hope they didn't crash.
No, I think, he probably lives close by where they're making their approach, so they're probably low and directly over his neighborhood. And
the aliens.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good to know.
That's good?
Yeah, at least they didn't crash.
Didn't crash.
I was worried about that.
All right.
So, I can get real corporeal chicks, says Riker. Says Lemon Pie. And Lemon Pie says for Riker, yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what he's thinking. He's like, I don't need pretend ladies. I have all the real ladies. And
all the single ladies.
I don't need your fantasy women is a strange quote for Trekkies, since they only have women on their well, not all of them, but sometimes
mostly.
that happens, yeah.
Mostly.
Gross.
All right, Newt.
Well, I
That's
wish there was
actually
an
a really
outtake.
inappropriate character to reference in such context.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yes.
It's accurate. Rob writes Gen X Pop Culture says, I wish there was an outtake where the crew does the opposite and embraces the celebration. Oh, where they just start enjoying the party.
Jill, you have that.
They start making requests of the mariachi band. Hey, play this song.
La Bamba.
But you have that. Jill, you have that video.
Oh, okay. Do you need me to play it? Okay.
Which one? I don't know which one you're going to play. I know you have two, and so it's a roulette.
Okay. Well.
Q! But I feel like celebrating!
Red alert. All hands stand to battle stations.
Welcome to the danger zone.
These are the 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. voyages of the Enterprise's night crew. Its continuing mission is to patrol.
I need you!
Oh.
Yeah, that was
the one
perfect.
you wanted?
That's the one I wanted.
Nice. Oh, now I'm totally lost where I am in the chat. Here we go. Okay.
Earth. You're
DJ
on Earth.
Playnice is here, and
Hey!
like you mentioned, he does the notes bot pulls this up for him. So if you know anybody in crisis, if you know a Q who's been turned into a human who needs someone to talk to, you could dial 988 or 1-800-273-TALK. If you don't want to talk, you can text to 741741 and get assistance there. I really appreciate the text messaging because a lot of times people don't actually want to talk out loud. They're really hurting that bad. So that is brilliant that they offer that service too. And I do hope it helps.
But don't feel alone. Whatever happens, don't feel alone. You always have help. And I know it's difficult to ask for help, but you'll always. And especially if you need something, you can find it. And I hope you do have the strength to seek it out, because most people who are answering those phones want you to, survive, yo.
Man must continue.
Man must continue.
I only laughed at that because I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing at Greek letter Larson's comment that I started reading. If I was Q, I would have given Data the gift of farting and laughing simultaneously.
Oh no. Don't say that in terms of bodily reactions, and it's daytime, so I can't even make reference to the joke that I wanted to make.
Yes, you can't. Remembering Roddenberry did not allow tobacco. Remember, Roddenberry didn't allow tobacco on the ship. Yeah, but this is Q. He doesn't follow the rules.
It was Nicholas Meyer who actually put the no smoking signs on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah. Well, Q fixed the moon because if he did not do that, then Picard and company would be all about, we got to fix the moon, and that would postpone Q's celebration. Oh, interesting. Oh, I really like that assessment. And so since they didn't sense any problems with the moon, the celebration was uninterrupted. Gotti secretly Q. Oh yeah, that was that one. I remember that. You read that one earlier. Q simply wanted to thank them. And Picard was like, get out of my face.
He did, yeah.
How rude.
Actually, Greek letters, it is fantastic at the beginning of this episode. Q does say, how rude. He says it almost exactly the same way as Jar Jar Binks.
I think he says it almost exactly like Stephanie Tanner says it.
That makes more sense.
That's what I thought Westgate was thinking about. And it's true. Oh, I should have clipped that one. But yes, he says that to Troy when Troy says that he's afraid.
Yep.
UK Danger Man's been hanging out in the background. Great stream, guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna send everybody over there in a few minutes here, and I'm sure you'll be starting. Oh, what time do you start? I'll check in a minute.
A Good Place says, I'm going to jump over to 10 forward, guys. Bye.
Sweet.
Well, thanks for being here, A
Okay.
Good Place.
Thank you, A Good Place, for being here. I'm going to send everybody over there as soon as I am done here. And I will appreciate you if you check out UK Danger Man, because they're a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Watched Death Wish the other day. Great Q episode. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Well,
it is.
I want to review them all now. Once you collect 1, 2 Qs, you want to collect them all. But
Except for the Q in the Gray. That one sucks. Actually, you know what? I can't say that. I've never seen it.
Actually, it's not that bad. It's okay. You know, like puppies?
My favorite is when Q turns Crusher into a dog. But yeah, no, there are Q episodes that I've never seen. So
Okay.
that's on purpose.
Yeah, well, I know it's a Voyager episode. I think I melded them together. So I might. Anyway, Scotty, relax. I'm sure you're exploring the galaxy.
Yeah, I'm relaxed. Okay. Don't I look calm?
And there are some things I'm going to miss out on talking. I hate missing out on some chat. There's some really good chat here that I'm going to miss, but I really appreciate everybody. Because, oh, no, I know. I want another hour, but I don't have a whole hour.
Are we done? Minutes. Is it over?
I have 15 minutes left.
Okay.
So I am scrolling through.
Well, let me tell you about my youth. I was born in a wintry province in northern Canada. No, I'm kidding.
I was born
seriously. We can talk about anything.
A poor white child.
Yeah, I was born a poor white child with tubes in my head.
Oh, West Cagle, this is beautiful.
Do you want to read it, West Cagle?
Oh, well, sure. It says, for all those out there reaching the breaking point, remember, you're never alone, as Scotty mentioned. Someone somewhere cares about you and wants you to be all right, even if it's just a random person you met on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Agreed. And yeah, I really like that. That's true. That's what this is. And Gavin says, I want to stay. Yeah, I want to stay too, but
I don't want to go.
I don't want to go either. I think this episode affects all the coming episodes or previous episodes or whichever order they're in. As Scotty says, they may not be in order.
I think that's just capricious headcanon. I don't think that's actual.
Well, that's why I said may, not are.
Mm-hmm.
So, and...
But it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Especially when you get to dance around the maypole with Q and sort of figure out how he ticks. What does he do without his utility belt? And then he does something that is, I don't know, beneficial, even if it's not. Also, I want to know what happened to the shuttlecraft.
It's gone.
Why?
The shuttlecraft is gone. I don't know.
Shouldn't Data say, "Oh, the shuttlecraft is back in the
shuttle bay"? That bothered me too, but I was gonna let it go. But you're absolutely right. It was just laid out. It was just forgotten about, and
it is
the mariachi band started playing, and everybody forgot about the shuttle.
It is very Q for him to steal a car and then just gone. It's like you don't get the car back.
You didn't need that, right? You have like infinite shuttlecraft.
Yeah, you can make more.
Voyager.
And then also, I wanted to say something about the cultural appropriation of the mariachi band. However, there was a certain level of cultural appropriation of humanity that Q engaged in before. And so he just focused in on the mariachi band to try and ingratiate himself to the people of Earth. So while I don't know, I would say not a cultural appropriation, but a cultural endearance.
I call it a cultural appreciation when it's done with respect.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he plays a mean trumpet, so yes, that was definitely with respect. That's some great miming of playing the trumpet. Fantastic.
I should take a video of
it.
myself playing trumpet and see if you are like, wow, that was good miming.
Well, if you put the trumpet music behind the video, so it looks like you're actually playing the trumpet. Yeah.
Somebody send me a trumpet.
Voyager had the Dixie Cup shuttle option.
Don't say somebody send me a trumpet. You'll end up with a floozy, a blonde floozy showing up at your house, Scotty.
Yeah, well, that's a strumpet, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Well, you want me to get like a mobster's mall because I order a trumpet? Is that free with purchase?
Yes.
So, were you a theater kid, Scotty? I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, good call, James Caserta. Okay, show's over, folks. Tune in next week for a special episode about space mariachi bands and fantasy women. Ooh. And fine Corinthian leather.
Wow.
Corinthian leather.
Well, if you say so.
I don't know. One of these days, I'm going to take Greek letters show idea seriously and actually have that next time.
Are we doing anything next Friday? What's up next?
I have no idea. I am on an away mission next weekend, but I think on Friday I could do something. Maybe we'll just play a game.
Well, we do have plans. The Anti-Derivative Jill channel, I think. I don't want to tell tales out of school, but I think tomorrow night we're going to be doing the Dreamfall Longest Journey with Zoe.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I just love kicking back and playing a game, and let's see what Zoe has in store for us tomorrow.
So, yeah.
So, that'll be... Okay, so, Scotty, what's going on with you? We got a poll. Hold on. Let's do the poll real quick.
Let's do the poll, because I have nothing going on.
You have nothing going on?
Well, I got some things.
Okay. Let's do the poll first. So, I'm going to...
Yes.
It's the same. 45 votes, though. That's really good. That's good.
What do you think, Wes Kegel? Should we jump on the poll?
Yeah. So we're going to share my screen.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants me on the poll. No.
Well, it does require some agility and acrobatics. So,
I might clear out the club if that happens. So
I was playing to the back seats, not you specifically.
Okay, so of course, what's the best aspect of Q? Learning how to be human. And of course, the winner is with 42%. 42, great number. Learning about sacrifice from Data is the winner, which makes sense. It's the most interesting one. But the other ones are fun. They're funny. They make the episode. It's why it's a lighthearted episode. It's a comedic episode that makes you laugh. I laughed multiple times watching this episode. I'll always remember the first time I ever saw it, and Q gave Data that laugh. That laughter was so contagious. I was just as broken up as Data was. Discovering hunger and lost appetite, 22%, tying with sleeping, being terrifying. It is kind of terrifying. We're unconscious for a large percentage of our life. And I could see how a omnipotent being would find that scary. And experiencing pain, back pain, fork, toe. I didn't even list all the pain that Q went through in this episode.
Constipation.
But very happy about that. Yeah, well, we were not privy to all of it, I'm sure also.
Well, look at the jumpsuit. It didn't look like he pooped.
Well,
so, but I agree. I didn't vote with the poll, but I do agree with the poll. I didn't actually have the opportunity to vote.
Yeah, me neither. So, what's coming up for you?
Well, I'm going to be playing the Dreamfall, The Longest Journey with Zoe. From what I understand, the Phantasmagorium is going to be doing a full recap because they've been talking about Alien Earth. And so after a hiatus, Steve and Kat are going to be continuing and or finalizing the season of Alien Earth. And always subscribe to Cinema Gulp. Right? Right. Actually, if you want to check out something really cool that's available right now, you can go and hear Jill, myself, and Ben from Cinema Gulp talk about the 20th anniversary of the Joss Whedon movie. What's it called?
Serenity.
And so we do a little bit of a recap of the show. And so that's fun. And it's in need of views. And I know that the community loves gathering around people who are in need of views. So like, subscribe, Cinema Gulp. They're almost at 1,000. And I have been told that if Cinema Gulp gets 1,000 subscribers, Ben will get a tattoo. So that's
he's going to get that tattoo soon. Yeah.
He is. I hope it's very soon.
That's going to happen really quickly, I think. And yeah, more people should watch the Firefly episode. I sat there for the entire 14 episodes. I watched all of it to prepare for it. So.
And I had never seen the show at all.
Yeah.
No. But there's a lot over there.
Yeah, no,
there's a lot over there. I've talked about Fletch. I've talked about Con Air. I've talked about Armageddon. Yeah, no, if you aren't familiar, everyone's familiar with Cinema Gulp. But if you aren't, please give it a go. Take a look. Long form and short form reviews.
All right. Yes, indeed. Phantom Outsider says Jill yelling, "Serenity now! Serenity now!"
Well, just push the button and you won't have to worry about Serenity now.
Oh, wait. Where's Sigvaldison? You sound a whole lot like Sigvaldison. This is the night for that, by the way. If you're really interested in that. And somebody was requesting this earlier, so now that I've heard that, I can do this without worrying about my feelings. So, here we go.
Sir, I know this may finish me as an acting ensign, but...
Shut up, Wesley!
Why does everyone get mad at me because I hate Zoidberg? Anyway, can you make me less big? I'm done promoting.
Wes Cagle, is there anything you want to promote or, any places you want to talk about?
Well, let me see. I know that I just wanted to point this out to everybody that this Sunday will be our friend Stark of Iron's birthday, so he's having a stream over there on Sunday, specifically to celebrate his birthday. So if you guys are so inclined, stop by and wish him a happy birthday at least.
Nice.
That's a good idea. If you want to, there's also an option if you're a creator or you know how to make videos, if you want to record a video saying happy birthday. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You can send it as a present.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
It wasn't me, Scotty. What wasn't you, Franco?
He didn't hit the button.
Oh, somebody said for you to shut up earlier, and so I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah,
but it was pressed,
really
and I waited for exactly the right time. Look, need to do the Tuvok scene. Doesn't anyone see this is wrong? Followed by should have pressed. Oh, you mean Tuvix? The Tuvix. I think that's possibly one of the most uncomfortable scenes in all of Star Trek. And so, what a wonderful thing to end the stream on. But this episode was wonderful. Thank you for talking to me about it. And I wish I had more time.
This episode was brought to you by the letter Q.
Yes.
The Q and the U, they go together. It's and it's wonderful. So thank you again. And Franco says Tuvix was murdered, and if that is your perception, apparently you can play a new Voyager game that's coming out and change history according to the trailer regarding Tuvix. I would not change history, but
I'm sure we'll talk about it at a shore leave in the future.
Oh yes. So, gosh, I just have so many feelings about Q, and I'm just so happy we were able to review this amazing comedic episode full of science fiction and great Star Trek ideas, great humanity discussions, and what it would be like to be ripped away from, well, yeah, your abilities, as was mentioned. And I don't know if Q will ever learn how to work with groups, but he learned something about it today, I think, maybe. And we'll have more fun talking about more stuff soon. I'll play a few videos and we'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday. Oh, wait a minute. Scotty, I need you to say something because I've got to make sure the stream carries over into the UK Danger Man. I want to make sure to raid that. He only has 10 viewers. Let's bump that up just a little bit. If you guys
So what do I
have
say?
Oh, anything you want.
Oh, well,
But something
everyone
nice.
should go. Okay. You know, when you say be nice, it makes me immediately be like, all right. UK Danger Man is your experience in terms of talking about Star Trek, science fiction, pop culture, and everything that you enjoy as a cinephile. I would highly recommend everyone go over there, say hello, say Jill sent you, and don't forget, you do have to know the hashtag whoopity whoop whoop.
I don't know. I do like Futurama.
Yeah.
Futurama does kind of make fun of that trope where you talk about some technobabble and then explain it with the easy to understand analogy or metaphor.
I'm just really impressed by people who could spell whoopity whoop whoop, and then also it's fun. I don't understand why people like. I'm not an H.P. Lovecraft individual. I don't care for that sort of dimensional horror, that cosmic horror. I don't care for it. It's not my jam. You can tell me about like squids from the deep.
Okay, and yet
the thing is that I do appreciate. And if you do, then you appreciate Zoidberg as being sort of the fun, soft, plushy version. And so Jill, say, whoopity whoop whoop.
Okay, Scotty, and yet you still want to review H.P. Lovecraft. You want to read it and talk about it. And so that's the part that confuses me. But I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. And for now, we'll have a fun Friday, and I'll send you over to. Yeah, I love Futurama too. I've got to talk about it sometime. But I don't know. Well, I'll think about it some other time.
Standing on an island of my own.
Yeah, you are. You are totally alone in your goobly goggly whatever. Anyway.
See, you can't spell whoopity.
I'm not gonna.
Oh, it's Zoidberg is just curled.
Zoidberg is not an extra dimensional being. He's just an alien.
You ask Hermes about that, and you'll get a different answer.
Yeah, he's also a quack without being a duck.
Howard the duck. Anyway, can we get out of here? I'm sick and tired of this.
Sure. Well, no, what you mean to say
is that I love you all.
Well, you're not allowing me to leave. You keep talking.
Oh, look, see, Gavin Blackburn can say it.
I've grown weary of discussion and argument.
Agreed.
Okay, so if you would like me to end this stream, you will let me. Oh.
There's another thing, Jill. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. And we have so many more Q episodes to review. I can't wait for the next one. But everybody have a great Friday. I'll talk to you next time. And I'll play a few.
Okay.
Having an itch? A pimple? Bad breath? Having to bathe?
Too bad.
The only way you're gonna survive is on the charity of others.
As a human, I was ill-equipped to thank you. But as myself, you have my everlasting gratitude.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
As Bertrand Russell once said, the only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation.
Oh.
See you around the galaxy.